Yo, 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 welcome back, 42 Strain Spam. Welcome back to another wonderful episode of our podcast. Thank you for being here. I'm Double A, and if you've noticed, for Season 2, this is going to be a little different because it's a little bit of a little live intro because your boy don't have a recording for the host that we have here tonight, which is our wonderful co-host, Chuck Dante.
Hello, hello, hello.
And our other wonderful co-host, Snack Queen.
Beep, bop, boop, boop.
Yeah, so I don't have a recording with us doing that recording that we did that day. So, you know,
Original.
cheers to that. You guys get a little special live opening, which if you really want that again, you can just go listen to any of Season 1 because I did a live opening every single episode of Season 1. And that's why I did recordings for this season because I was done with that shit. And then also today we have a very, very special guest, one of our spam, and also I believe Snack Queen. If you maybe want to introduce our wonderful guest that we have on today.
Oh my God, you don't want me to do that.
I do. I do. More than anything.
Show us.
Yeah, who's our guest today,
I'm gonna
Snack Queen?
lose my street cred with this introduction. Fuck.
Yeah, your large amount of street cred that you have.
This guy, he's really cool, man.
Oh my God.
Is that it?
No, give me the space to do a proper introduction.
Oh my
right,
gosh.
right.
I'm about to get the cricket sound on in a second if you don't.
Well, anyway, I'll do the introduction for our special guest today. Is actually one of my other favorite people in the world, my fiance.
Oh.
Yeah, so today we have Lucius joining us today. He comes all the way across from the other side of my bed.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've seen
I
what
like
it looks
that.
like. It's a very nice area over
From
there.
the other side of Snack's bed. Hi, I'm Lucius.
Welcome to the show, Lucius. It's so good to have you here, honestly.
He's not as threatening as he sounds, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, as in like that level, like 3 out of 10 of threat that you may have felt from that statement. It's more like a 1 or like a 0.5, really.
He's so sweet. I'm the mean one.
Yeah, if there was a mean one out of the two, I'd definitely say it's next.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's
guys,
Lilith.
we have an awesome episode in store for you because we got a special guest. We got some emails. We got some news. We got some Reddit posts from Snacks. So get excited. Get your bowl packed. Get your joint rolled. Get your blunt rolled. Whatever you're doing
I like bowls.
that involves cannabis, do it. And I want you to get it ready because you're in for a good one today. We even have a special little inauguration happening today because Lucius brought his new Special K piece. Shout out to Special K
Special K
and his
class.
auctions, allowing Lucius to get his piece. Lucius, tell us how the little auction went for getting your guy and kind of describe how he looks.
So this is my first like hand blown glass bong that I've ever
that's
purchased
sick, man.
on my own, and it was Chuck sent me over to the Special K like live auctions Instagram, and I saw this, and I saw that it was transparent. It has a smoothed out base, even though it's
Those water waves that
Water
you guys
wave
will see in a lot of
beautiful.
Special K's
Yeah.
pieces.
with water waves going all the way around the bong. It's a 9.5 inch bong with
Awesome, yeah.
Looks
it's
about
so,
right.
Yeah,
It's
it
dark,
looks about
dark,
right.
like navy blue. It's like this
your
dark
favorite color.
ocean blue.
Oh yeah, no, it looks gorgeous. And
Yeah, it's so pretty.
the best part about this is actually the weight is like literally perfect.
Honestly, yeah. When I picked it up that first time, it really was kind of surprising, like how well the weight held at the bottom to like feel really good in the hand, even if you're
He's
only.
really balanced.
Yeah, she's very well balanced. Very well
And
balanced.
like Special K is known for doing these just amazing secondary glass wraps around his pieces.
Yeah, the swirl's
And
like
the swirl
him.
wrap going down to all the way down to the base, and it provides the most beautiful feet for it. It's so stable. This is just a very like all those pieces are unique. This one is just perfect.
Yeah, it's just so pretty. And yeah, Lucius, I'm going to need you to rip that for the
I
first
was gonna
time.
say, I think
Break
it's
that
time
puppy
to
in. We haven't named it yet, so there's no name for this one yet. It may get named on this episode. It may not.
Get
We
in
can't-
there close to
we
that
can't
mic and give
we
it
can't
all
pressure we can't pressure the naming process for these pieces. They got to name themselves.
Yes.
Because I also have our classic Tris packed. That's our rainbow
that's smooth.
rainbow piece. You'll see that on my Instagram or on our lives if you've checked that out. You'll hear the handles at the end. Yeah, now Snack getting in on the new piece. I'm gonna start this bowl to go the opposite way.
Oh yeah, that looked good. Yeah, Special K is a really, really nice guy. We mentioned him multiple times here on the show. His crew very actively handling all their Instagrams.
Oh yeah.
They have a very unique
Very
NFT
cool crew.
project going on that actually offers, I've mentioned it before, a forever bong, where if it breaks for any reason, they will replace it for the rest of their lives.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's really
yeah, and honestly, on that too, the bong that I currently have out right now, Tris, is actually technically a replacement for one of mine. Now, he didn't replace it for free, but I told him the story about how I got that other bong and how it broke and everything, and he ended up giving me a really nice deal on what's like a 13-inch tall, hand-blown, multicolored glass piece, and that was just really cool of him. He does not have to do that as the artist of these things. He didn't break it. It wasn't a weird thing that broke it. I literally just broke it, and he totally was like, yeah, we can definitely do that again for you and try to replicate it. And it's not a replication, but it's such a cool attempt and made such another really, really pretty bong that like there's nothing to be upset about.
I really
such a
want
cool guy.
Every single one of my friends to have a Special K bong.
I'm gonna rip this little
Do
beautiful
it.
Special K bong.
I would-
so
I
good.
had beautifully.
I would be disappointed if you did it.
So watching him make these pieces,
That's a
and
good friend,
seeing the
Lucius.
seeing the cool like unique ways
Oh,
each,
wow, that's
each part
fucking
of
nice.
the process goes, I really enjoy the
Wow.
mouthpieces that come out of this style. I've seen the insert that he used in order to shape those and get that unique lip ring on there. But the way it seals when you hit it, it's just perfect.
That is a wonderful piece. The hit on that
Gorgeous.
is so nice, and it's Snack Queen. You okay? That looked like a roasted face over there, Snack Queen.
Lucius, fill that bad bitch with Sprite.
With Sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people like carbonation in their pieces. We have a casualty on the battleground, guys.
I do believe
Don't
Snack
forget your
Queen
water either.
I do believe Snack Queen has just gotten herself stoned.
Yeah, and then also, yeah. First off, that piece's hit was fantastic. And yeah, some people like putting soda in their bongs. The carbonation they think helps with the smoothness a little bit. I'm kind of indifferent. I don't necessarily like it. It's kind of a weird feeling on the inhale, but I mean, it's kind of one of those to each their own.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's coming back this way, I think.
Oh, then
Yeah.
I need I need the
Oh, you
I need the
seesawed
I
it.
need the sombrero.
You seesawed it. Oh, we don't have it close by. It's way
I'll get
over.
it.
Yeah, go get it. Yep, we have a Duke. We have a Duke that has seesawed, and we have a seesawing hat. It's a sombrero.
What do I do have to ask? What is
So
seesaw?
in our smoke circle, when you have it going one direction, but then because of like distance, like me and you,
Yeah.
you know, right now, we just can't like pass, and you pass it back. He hit it when he was technically supposed to only pass it.
Correct.
So the action of that in a smoke circle is he seesawed it.
Oh.
You know,
And I have become the Duke of Seesawks.
And then yeah, through quite a bit of joking and wordplay that we're doing while we were, yes, very stoned. We basically named the position of the person who seesaws the Duke of Seesawks.
Oh, okay. Now I
Become a
follow.
duke.
I follow.
Yeah, you become a Duke. Someone, you know, I won't name a certain camel, did come on and try to argue for a Duchess, but
no.
we all agreed it is not a Duke as in gender, it is like dude. So it's a title that it has no gender. So everyone's a Duke. And that's how you become the Duke of Seesawks.
Then I will wear this for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
But-
it's okay. You know, like that, the headset definitely does. I didn't think about that when we were like, we're going to do this during episodes. you know?
Hey, the thing is I'm gonna at least wear it for a round. I owe the title that.
Along with a shout out to Special K, I do also want to shout out, what's our little no smoke?
Smoke Buddy.
Yeah, Smoke Buddy. Yeah, we have a.
Smoke Buddy is amazing.
We recently took a trip down to the happiest place on earth, being good old Disneyland out in SoCal, and we took what is called the Smoke Buddy down there for the hotel because we were staying in like not like any like normal hotel, and it was
Now-
quite close to Disneyland.
Now I say, okay, be responsible. Make good choices in doing this, because you cannot eliminate 100% of the smoke.
No
So I always
smoke
recommend
coming off the bowl, off the
bathroom?
joint, like
Yeah.
the bathroom, door shut, fan on. Most hotel bathrooms have a fan that is
And
very
they're usually
powerful
really
because
good.
they do not have windows in their bathrooms.
Yeah.
Most of them.
they're usually really good.
You go in there, if you buy
There's
a
also
thing
not a
of some
smoke alarm in there
Ozium
usually too.
and you have a Smoke Buddy, those two things in tandem are going to completely eliminate any trace smell, and you will not see smoke. You will not set off detectors. But be responsible. because if you get caught, you get caught. Not us.
It's a pretty hefty fine.
Yeah.
Depending on the hotel you go to, they can charge you. And the thing that sucks is you can get a smoking room and it doesn't matter because they're only talking about tobacco use. Yeah, it's kind of a little lame sauce on that. That's definitely some like legislation wording that they're trying to get changed in a lot of places.
But
at the same time, it's like private companies.
But back to the positive side of that, it works.
Yeah, the smoke buddy was really cool.
Well, it looks like half the size of a soda can.
Your turn, Duke.
It's about half the size of a soda can.
Yeah, I can actually.
And you see a filter in there, and I know that there now since is a company that actually makes replaceable filters in there, but this is a one and done. But you get I think this is some crazy 8,000 puffs through this.
Yeah, you guys can try that out if you want. It's pretty dope. You just inhale the smoke, and you make sure to get a seal inside of the small part, and you blow out, and no smoke will come out the other end.
Oh shit! It's like a magic trick.
Yeah, no smell either. The Ozium's for more like the smoke coming off the bowl, the butane
and it
smell,
does
the lighter.
eliminate the smell completely. Ozium does do that.
Yeah, the Ozium does. It one little spray and it's gone.
Yeah, but I would say that really having this, it prevents that huge plume that would immediately set off something.
Yeah, really hard.
And also that smoke that sticks.
So
you have,
thank you, Smoke Buddy.
Yeah.
Because you were awesome, and you were really if you guys wanted to try it out just to test it out, you guys were really fantastic. So that was my other shout out. Did we have any other shout outs, Chuck? Did you have a shout out?
I do, but I just got really, really baked prior to hopping on today's episode. I was really jazzed to be here, so I'm gonna save a lot of my big shout outs for the next episode. I've got a list of some people that I want to actually kind of sit there and give some dedication to.
Then I will roll right into some emails because we got some emails.
There we go.
We got some emails. Yeah, we love some emails. Luckily, we have some emails from some of our live studio audience again.
Ooh.
We got some emails from Fernardia.
I apologize. There's actually one I do need to shout out, and I told them I would, and this is a big appreciation post here. In downtown Disney in Anaheim, there are 2 food trucks that are going to be there for quite a while now, and one of them is Wings and Waffles, which if you can look them up right now, they are flooded with celebrity posts.
Oh,
There's Polaroids of them flagged the entire front of them.
Side of the food truck is covered in Polaroids with
Cedric the Entertainer,
Chance the Rapper. Football players, basketball players. Crazy.
Everybody.
Everybody's had their chicken. It's kind of crazy.
And they've been featured on BET. They've been featured on several other big newscasts have also put them on. So definitely check out Wings and Waffles really down there. The other one, this one is really emotional but amazing at the same time, and they're called College Boy Cheesesteaks. They are transplant from Philly. They are out here. They are named after their college boy Kev, who was the first one on both sides of their family to graduate with a full-on degree from college. And unfortunately, in 2000, I believe it was 17, he passed away in a motorcycle accident.
Oh no!
And so the family has put together this business in honor of him. And they actually have a really great, you think you've had a Philly cheesesteak. Well, this is Philly being brought to you, not what food show channels want to show you what the best Philly cheesesteak is. They're showing you what people in Philly go to eat. And so each one of their stacks is named after a different degree. So there's a bachelor's, there's a doctorate that has just everything on it. It's a really cute model. And really sweet people. And right now their food truck is kind of going through some hell, but they're coming right back. They're actually getting a brand new engine put in there as we speak, and they should be back rolling up here in the next week. So as of March 2nd, just start looking for them. They should be there through April.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're down in that Disneyland area going through downtown Disney, you grab food from there. They're both really good and really cool people.
They will deliver in the area. The DoorDashers can get in there to get their food for them.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah, you don't even got to be in downtown Disney.
Yeah, you can actually order from them that way. So
heck
recommendations there, and thank you for that time, Double A. I'm sorry, I got too stoned.
Yeah, no worries.
That's for you, college boys. I love you guys.
And then we got 2 emails today.
Woo! Bless you.
Oh, thank you. Yep, we got 2 emails today, both from the Fernarnia couple. So we got one for Mr. Fernarnia and Miss Fernarnia. The one from Mr. Fernarni is a big one, so I'm going to just try to get through this proper here. He says, "Hey, 42 Strains." Yes, I will definitely take that beautiful blue, navy blue, dark Atlantic Ocean piece right here. Sorry, Spam. You're gonna get this email interrupted right now.
They'll wait.
Yeah, they will wait because they're gonna hear this fat rip out of this beautiful.
So
piece
when
that
I
they
actually
had.
went, I'm just gonna go ahead while he's waiting on that, taking that rip. I got a delicious ass cheesesteak from them where I swapped out the onions and I got sweet peppers, and I had them put their, I think it was just called the college sauce. I think there was a better name for it than what my stoned ass is remembering right now. But I don't do onions, so I just like, hey, make me the best, most traditional Philly you can, but like swap out that and then give me what makes it you. And then they also threw in like some fries in on there. And so my advice to you is eat your Philly over the fries because anything that falls out just gives you loaded fries at the end. And you just crush those. And so it was absolutely delicious.
Genius.
And, fill in that little bit of time here while my buddy's finishing his rip. So,
Yeah, thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Chuck.
Absolutely.
And then I also just remember too, we're not doing a strain review obviously today, but I do want to just let everybody at home know that we are smoking on some thick mints tonight.
Ooh.
31.8% THC.
Thick.
Yeah, and it is thick with 2 C's,
Thick.
baby. So get excited about that.
Lucius, give me a thick.
It's
Thick.
oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's.
Thank you.
I'm gonna need to record that soundbite later. Actually,
I actually want that soundbite
Yeah.
just in case we ever need that. I can just go.
Don't let me forget that, Lucius.
Lucius, give me a thick, and you can just hit
was
that button.
beautiful.
yeah,
That was poetic.
yeah. We know you're turned on right now, Snack Queen. We can see
Call
it.
her little Niagara.
The puddle under the chair over there.
Gosh,
Jesus.
the
Just
dampness.
really high.
That's just sweat.
I'm as high as a whale, man. Think about whales up there, just like, damn,
The
I'm so
fucking
high.
Fantasia whales.
Yeah, dude,
Just
I
think
love
of it. No,
Fantasia.
a whale
Thank
at the
you.
top of the ocean, breaching to take a breath, looking down at the bottom of the ocean, going, "I'm so high,
So
right,
high
now.
right now. Just fucking. He's above the Marianas Trench. Just Jesus.
Jesus, I'm way up here, dude."
Credit to Bert Kreischer for that joke because that stand up is hilarious. So Mr. Fernarni says, "Hey, 42 Strains. Hope all is good. It's me again." He said, he said it's Mr. Narni again, and wanting to ask a question on the topic of movies. What is your favorite stoner movie, i.e., a movie with a stoner representation as the lead or second role? And what is your favorite stoner movie, i.e., whatever movie you like to most get stoned to? And then I'll go ahead and let everybody answer. He also gave a little bit of an answer and an explanation on his side of things too that I want to go over as well. I kind of read over the email first, so I can go ahead and go first. My favorite stoner movie is probably going to be Pineapple Express. And I say that with kind of some reluctance, just because I'm actually not the biggest James Franco fan. But just the culmination of that story and how much it escalates is so funny. So I really enjoy, and the way they also start off with like the monkey trials and the guy and also the guy really freaking
Bill
high.
Hader.
Yeah, Bill Hader, thank you, is sitting down. He's like, and he's going he's just acting absolutely crazy
Very
and bonkers.
reefer madness.
Yeah, like total reefer madness homage. Like I just thought that movie was like really good. Also like such a proper time at like the turn of like cannabis becoming more like of a recreational bigger thing through the States. It was like right at that kind of turning point. So I really like that's probably like my favorite stoner movie. And movie to get stoned, my favorite movie to get stoned to, like to just be like, wow, I really need to be really high and watch this. That's kind of a hard one. It depends on kind of the high. My highs with movies goes like way different. I can feel really like, oh, I just need something really funny, or I'll actually more want like nature, so I'll actually just do like, I'll more watch like Planet Earth. Like Planet Earth is pretty common for me, and if I'm gonna go like probably just in general, I can go ahead and just enjoy that movie. I'll throw on like a Disney favorite, any like Disney favorite. I'll like watch while really stoned because it's just like I like when I'm really high, I can get back into that like kind of child mindset a little bit and like kind of feel like a kid again watching my Disney movies, and that takes me back to some good times. Is anybody else ready to answer?
I mean, yeah,
It's a loud question.
But I think this is a good one to answer because also like around the time that I was really becoming what would be a stoner, this was a movie that was really just a big popularity, a banger out, and that was the Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That's a good one.
That's a
Good
classic
stoner
as
movie.
well.
It was really funny for the time. The actors were known for things. The actors were known for things. Getting to see, somebody who was just known at that point as just the MILF guy from American Pie.
Oh yeah,
Actually get to step and put his right foot forward, and then the guy who was known as just Taj from Van Wilder getting to put his left foot forward, and then we got to see them together in a group and like an awesome adventure. And then other people from American Pie kind of making little cameos throughout it. Finch shows up in that movie. It was a really good time period piece for me. Some Bobby Lee showing up in that movie.
That's a classic, dude. Seriously.
So then it had
all just for some
sequel.
burgers.
It had an okay third movie, and MPH became a legend out of that movie again.
To be honest, I actually preferred Guantanamo Bay out of all of them.
That's not a unpopular opinion, really. It was a little bit more developed, and there was some really shitty shit that was going on in there that made Harold seem more of a hero in that one than just a couple. Like Harold kind of seems like a bad dude in the first one.
I feel like he is portrayed as the bad dude in the first, like kind of like a bad guy.
But then also they make Cal Pitt also a bad guy, but then like not. It was really interesting. So I mean, I agree on that one. And then the third one, the Santa one, is pretty fucking good itself.
I don't even honestly know if I've seen
Harold and Kumar
maybe once.
fucking Save Christmas, man.
I think I have seen that. I actually think I have seen that.
It was 3D. So there's that. And then also just a great movie to get stoned to. There's a toss-up for me between The Big Lebowski and Dazed and Confused.
That's a good one.
Because they're both very opposite ends of the spectrum, but both, depending on how high you are, can just be wonderful.
Like take you somewhere.
You can have some really good laughs in Lebowski, especially if you watch the TV edit. Because, there's like the most famous lines I get quoted for the movie. That's what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Donnie. Like, that gets yelled at a lot. If you watch it on TV, that's what happens when you fry a stranger's eggs. But it's them. They recorded the line. So
it's just so wrong.
Yeah, and so it's just there's other things like that happen in there. And
you tell me John Goodman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100% yes. So
says
go and watch the movie
when you fry a stranger's eggs
instead of fuck a stranger in the ass.
Man,
it's just
that is
the
hilarious.
correct amount of syllables and mouth.
It is like they didn't change it so much, but they changed it enough to be like, wow, so, that's TV edit.
There's great ones throughout that movie.
I don't think I've ever seen the TV edit. I always had it on DVD
because you should go and watch that one.
I'll get a great laugh out of that. Thank you.
Yeah,
I really will.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other one, Dazed and Confused, just because that's that time period piece, and all right.
And Matthew McConaughey's first movie spoken lines. Yeah, and improv as well. That whole scene. Yeah, if you haven't heard him tell the story of that, it's actually really cool how funny and ironic that his first. He had no idea what he was doing. They were like, "You're gonna just be this teenager in a car that's." Basically, kind of
not a teenager, but right fresh out of being
right fresh,
an adult.
Man.
This is why he's my best friend, because I don't have to tell the story anymore. This is why I get stoned to these movies, because I laugh because I knew these guys in high school.
Yeah, and it's like so funny how like they basically told him like, yeah, just do this scene. You don't really have any more than a couple lines. You're just gonna have a small conversation with the other person, and Matthew McConaughey turned it into that, and it's never died. He has said all right for the entire time that he's been in existence since that moment.
For me, it's the be a lot cooler if you did.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
You get older and they stay the same age. He's a fucking creeper. Movie.
The stash.
Ooh, wonderful.
Yeah, that's Matthew McConaughey prime right there. What's up, Snack Queen? You got an answer for this question?
I did. It took me a journey to.
It's a question. It seriously is a loaded. You look what you've done for Narnia. Look what you've done.
He
throwing us through a loop.
He woke me up a little bit there.
He woke up your game.
A little bit. I'd say my favorite stoner movie, like specifically, like the main characters are stoners.
Yeah, he did ask that.
And they're high during this movie. I'd say Up in Smoke.
Okay, yeah, that's classic. Yeah, it's
some good old Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, that's so good.
See, a lot of people would think that would be my answer too, and I bet Tommy listens to this episode and goes, "I hate you."
Oh my god!
No, Tommy
he
doesn't
couldn't
listen
hate
to
you, and he couldn't hate you. Come on.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to this. Tommy,
he gave you the necklace. You, bro. Get out of here! Get out of here! Now, what's your favorite part of that movie? That's the one with the giant joint in the car, right?
Yeah, that is the one with the giant.
Yeah, that part is hilarious to me. The whole writing of them, I can't remember exactly what the lines are, but it has something to do with who's driving and who should be driving, and it's like that shit cracks me up every time. I'm honestly gonna have to give that one another listen soon.
It's beautiful. And then what was the other question?
What's your like favorite movie to get stoned to? Like, doesn't have to be a stoner movie, but you just like getting stoned and watching that movie.
It tastes super bad.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's good laughs. That's good ahas
Basically,
while you're
that
stoned.
genre of like
Just
high school's
do that
about to
intro.
end
Easy,
comedy.
funny.
Intro
Like
of Michael
also,
Cera dancing
what's the
puts
one?
me in the mood.
Get Smart.
Oh yeah. Oh heck yeah.
Steve Carell?
Book Smart.
Oh, Book
Oh, I was
Smart.
about to say, Get
I
Smart
was
with
gonna be
So
like,
sorry.
wow, you just pulling a
Absolutely
Steve
gets my jam,
Carell
That's
jam
Steve
out of there.
Carell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Thank you.
dude.
Another
No,
best
he
friend.
I was gonna respect that. I still respect Book Smart, but that's funny. That's good.
Yeah,
Both me and him heard Get Smart. We're like,
love
Yeah.
Book Smart.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. That's good. Lucius, what about you, buddy? What about you? You got an answer?
I don't know if this one counts as a stoner movie, but
Make it count.
Throw it out there. Throw it out there.
but Dude, Where's My Car?
that is.
That
That's
is.
actually,
Oh, yeah,
that's
that
actually in
counts.
the top 15 stoner movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's the main character, right?
What's up?
The
Sean
dude who
William
smokes?
Scott and Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, and
And they're
they
both stoned.
smoke.
They're
Yeah.
both
Oh, that
They
hella
are?
counts.
I just
yeah.
thought they were weird. I totally forgot the part where there's.
No, Chibi.
No.
That whole aspect of
I
talking about
forget
smoking
that.
and they-
Yeah.
It's been so long
The dude
since
from
I've seen
Office
it.
Space, who's
I think that's
Michael
why it's
Bolton.
It
almost-
also
their
has a
guru.
very zigzag story. You really don't know
There's
what
not
the next
really
Yeah,
a
it's not
linear-
like-
be.
So,
It's not a Pineapple Express where it's like blatantly
so yeah,
weeds
they're not
involved
sitting
here,
there
like.
ripping bongs in your face.
But it's
But
like
when
yeah,
they
that
talked
counts.
about we got chibi last night, that just means stoned.
Oh.
Like that's what that means. Like, and that's why that guy keeps talking. They say that as like they're
Yeah.
they're just stoners, dude.
Yeah, that counts.
are.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah, that's actually-
Oh,
we're
the
42
Hays
Strength says
Code.
it counts on
Go back
this
and watch that
episode.
movie again, and I bet you'll love it even more now knowing that. Like,
Yeah, it's
they
a little
actually-
different
They had to follow
perspective.
the Hayes movie code.
It's an older movie. It's like early,
it was
very early
2000.
2000.
Early 2000s.
That's why it had
yeah.
to be
I believe
kinda
it was
DL.
2000.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
immediately after like the success of that 70s show, and somehow Ashton Kutcher's like
Well, Sean William Scott was still writing American Pie, and then that 70s show 100% for Ashton Kutcher.
And I mean, and think about what that 70s show had to do. Like they never even said weed. Like,
yeah,
on the
there's just
show.
always smoke there.
Yeah,
And it's a paper bag, and it's the stuff. It's the that garbage. Like when Red gets mad about it. Like I don't think they say it like
no,
maybe
he actually,
one time.
no, he does, but he calls them hopheads. Red calls them hopheads. HOP.
Yeah, like they never directly say it to be
Like
TV
stoner.
safe in the 90s,
Yeah.
first of all, and then like also like because like yeah, you already were touching on a touchy subject in the first place. It's like
Interesting.
when you look at media and cannabis, it is an insane journey when you really think about like
oh,
what
and
you can
Marshall's eating a sandwich from How I Met Your Mother.
see now.
Oh yeah, no,
Sharing
that one
other
they
shows,
actually, that one they really did
other
a
shows
good
that'll
job
like
of
do
that.
little homages for their characters to like that they did use cannabis because it became a funny thing or became like a popular thing enough where they're like, yeah, we should add that to a character, we should add that depth. It's pretty cool. I love that. What about
Oh, there's a second part of the question.
like favorite one to get stoned
Stone
to?
two.
Like not favorite stoner movie, but just one to watch while baked.
I mean, so similar to your Disney question, but I love watching How to Train Your Dragon
Oh, nice.
while stoned
Oh, that's
because
cute.
not only is it
Beautiful film.
but the score, the soundtrack,
Oh, dude.
just phenomenal.
Absolutely.
So-
classic. That's awesome. That's
So
a
and
good
it also
choice.
it's just a feel good. So it's
Totally, yeah.
solid.
Feel good movies, I think, are always a really good choice while stoned, no matter what. Like any
Yeah.
kind of feel good movie. If you're into like sports, like a feel good sports movie is really cool to watch while high. Just you feel more inspired, kind of like
I
you
don't
get.
really hear very many stories of people talking about like I was just sitting there ripping bulls to Braveheart, like deep in
Bro,
and shit, like at the end.
Bro, I
I'm
would.
or I'm two
You know
bowls
what?
deep
I
into
would.
Remember
They would,
the
but, like, I'm
Titans.
talking about when they're
Oh,
talking
dog,
about,
I'm trying to be baked and watch Rudy. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'll cry.
Yeah,
like I already basically tear up.
I'm 9
And
bowls
it's like-
deep into Steel Magnolias, and I'm just saying, hey, Shelby, bitch, I'm right here with
No,
you.
thank
But don't
you.
make fun of me like I'm not
Snack
here.
Queen said no,
Like,
thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
that's
yeah.
hilarious. I love
And
that.
Simon Birch, like
We might need to
like
have.
I just ate a brownie. Now I'm watching this special ed kid hit his first home run, and he takes out his stepmom.
We
like,
may need to section out some
baseball.
episodes for like
spoilers.
proper list of movies to watch while high. Like we might need to go through a proper.
We should do like
pop
each
culture.
person gives like their top 3.
Yeah,
like, their
exactly. We might have to.
films.
We
Sounds
might have
like
to,
we're coming back to this question.
Yeah, yeah. For
Write that down,
Narnia,
write that down.
you've obviously done us good, buddy. And now I have to go over his.
Just impressed with this.
I know that
It's
bong
so
is
pretty.
So pretty.
man,
I'm just impressed.
It's
There's
really
even
gorgeous.
green
Lucius,
hues at the
seriously.
bottom.
I love it. You can see it when you hold it.
I know there really is the.
base.
Oh wow,
So
yeah.
to
That
describe
gradient.
this blue, it's like that aqua blue that you see.
I think it's like that darkest ocean blue.
yeah.
This is
Like when you have the
some
camera
shit.
Yeah.
above, like where the only
That-
thing you see other than dark blue is the crashing wave white, and it's
Yeah,
like
that's the color.
And there's
That's like
purple
lapis
at the
lazuli
top.
blue.
Yeah.
Blue.
it's a little darker even.
You see the
A little
purple?
bit.
It's that Atlantic.
Like
Yeah, like
I do get
yeah,
purple
the purple's
sheen.
mostly.
Yeah,
Look
there's
at-
a
look at
purple
this.
sheen at the
Look at
top,
this in the
and there's a
top.
green
Right.
sheen towards the bottom.
I see purple in the top a lot.
It's
Yeah.
like the perfect
yeah, it is
blend.
And the
that.
wrap.
It almost is like a purple to blue ombre.
And then the
from top
green
to
is in
bottom.
the base on the bottom. If you hold it up in the light, you
Yeah.
can see the.
Oh yeah,
the green
yeah. I
there.
was seeing the
That's
green
insane.
peek off when you were holding it up. I actually hadn't seen that at all yet. But when you really look
This
at the
is
bottom, the green.
Special K. You outdone yourself. Just
And
even
this
the
is your
depth of the
first
stem.
piece.
First
That the
piece.
stem goes down.
Call it
into here.
Marianas,
I'll keep.
That's a good name.
the
This
trench,
shit reminds
baby,
me of something that would be in
the deep dark blue.
in the Atlantis movie.
It's giving Siren.
Yeah, it's just got that like
Like, it has-
oceany vibes. That's
Actually,
pretty dope.
I like Siren. I think that's gonna be the
Siren?
because
Serena.
when you
Serena.
answer the siren's call. that's the
Serena.
song.
Oh shit, Lucius,
Lavender.
calm down.
That's actually hot.
A
though,
man
Zach.
can only get so
If you
erect,
feminized
Lucius.
that, though?
Jesus.
Serena.
If you feminized Siren, Serena,
Serena.
That's
also
pretty
the
hot.
I do like
theme.
the call of the siren though. I like
Yeah.
that like play on words with it too.
Siren. I think is gonna be
Like come to its call and
That
it's
piece was flashing.
because the rip is honestly
The rip.
really nice. That is like such a. I feel like when you if you went online and you're like, let me get search in a audio clip
Yeah.
website like bong rip.
That's
like
what that sounds like. That's it.
That comes up. You know what I mean? And I have several bong rips in here. We can compare here.
this also looks like this would just like contain a memory that would go into a pensive in Harry Potter. Like,
Yeah.
See, there's
It's the same. It's almost identical.
oh, that's a Surfer Dan
Fan has
rip.
to guess which
Surfer-
one's real.
That one was a Surfer Dan rip. That was really close to that one. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Wait, you saved some of our sound bites? From,
Yeah, I have
Oh,
I
my
have a
Lord.
bong rip from me, Rue, you, Chuck, and Dan. Yeah,
Oh my
all
god,
of us.
can you play mine?
Yeah. Ooh, that's kind of a hot lighter.
oh, I hear that. I hear
and then
that.
it's like a smooth, like it wasn't like the lighter sound made it sound like it was going to be a big rip, but then the rip was like mellow. It was like, oh shit, like I wasn't expecting that.
It's like they come up right when the water starts boiling. Like
Yeah, like it really.
What was the year, date, and time of when this was recorded?
That was 2020. I'm pretty sure. No, 2021.
It had to be. We
I was
had
Yeah,
gonna
it had
say
to
I
been
didn't get to
2021.
see you for most of
Yeah,
2020.
yeah. That's
because
why. Yeah, that's why I had to be
something
like. It had to have
happened.
been mid
No, we
2021.
bought that right out of the first round of COVID when we knew we were like going to be able to record again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I saved all those rips. Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, I like playing those sometimes. They can come in handy. So Grayson, kind of commented on his own question. He said, as for movies to get stoned to, me personally, I have 3. He said The Fifth Element, Contact, and The Burbs. I don't know I'm not familiar with The Burbs.
That's a Tom Hanks film. That's
Tom
all
Hanks
I know
film.
about it.
That's a Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah, it's
Correct.
very young
Okay.
Tom Hanks film.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to the Bay Area.
Yeah, he said some swell you into. Oh, he said all 3 are excellent to sit and smoke, and to anything. And he said you could smoke anything to it. Some swell you into the story, and some make me cackle like I'm just lying here with my eyes closed, just trying to take a nap. Art. So please discuss and smoke and lose your train of thought. We kind of did. We're
We
literally,
did
35 minutes into the episode on the first email. Look what you did for Narnia. You did it. He said, "Love, peace, and chicken grease to y'all."
That's adorable. Love.
That's very him.
Yeah,
Like
it's very
me
him
saying
after
like
some-
hasta la pasta.
After some texting with that guy, that's definitely sounds like him. And then we also have an email. And yeah, thank you, my good sir. Thank you for that email. That was wonderful. That got all our brains ticking on that one, guys. That was
I'm
awesome.
so stoned right now.
What?
I mean,
Oh,
I assume
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
3 dabs deep.
Yeah,
but
the thick mints is It's not lying about. It actually isn't lying.
Wait,
about
I'm
the
sorry.
30.
What was that called again?
Thick mints.
Thick.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
mints.
Okay.
We also got one from Miss Fenarnia, and she
It's a twofer.
Yeah, and this one's more directed towards you, Chuck. I think.
Oh shit.
What
did
she
I
said,
do?
This is to your high splation
Oh, all right.
from a
Yeah,
previous
I've done one of
episode.
those before.
She said, if I was going to get into fried green tomatoes, would I want to read the book first or watch the movie first?
Oh, okay.
And if you've seen the movie, please chime in. But Chuck's just a huge fan. And
Yeah.
he did the high splation.
Yeah, so that's absolutely one of my most favorite movies. That's one of my most cherished memories is that movie. So I really do want to say first and foremost, thank you very much for addressing me. It really makes me feel special when I get called out in any fashion. So thank you, Miss Fernarnia. I would say that you are actually more than comfortable to take that ride in whichever one suits you because both the stories are beautiful, and I don't value one more than the other.
Oh, that's cool.
Of course, you do get more detail within the book. I feel that is just something that's unavoidable.
Yeah, no way.
You will always get more detail in the book because that's what it's there for.
It did the world building
But
best.
yeah, and so that would be my recommendation is you can go ahead and read the book because you're going to enjoy that story. It is so beautiful. And the movie does it justice, and you will notice actresses in there, and you will be happy to see these actresses portraying these characters. And I think even some of the dude characters were picked out very great. You'll see a very young Chris O'Donnell.
Oh.
You see, her name is escaping me right now when I need it the most, but the young lady.
This is when you need it the most.
Yeah, from Weeds.
Oh, the main from
Yeah.
Weeds? Oh, I can't remember her name right now
Mary,
either, but the main from Weeds is she's an actress.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about, but
Yeah, I'm
trying to
sorry.
Name- yeah,
I'm
name's
sorry.
not
if you
there at
ever
all.
happen to listen to this episode, just know that I will drink your bath water. I'm so sorry. I can't remember your name.
Oh,
No, I
yeah,
love
that's
you.
my Chuck.
God.
Oh, I love
Yes.
you to no end, and I'm so sorry.
If she listens to this particular episode as a Candace fan,
now I'm also.
she could listen to podcasts, you know.
All I know is biggest
The lead in Weeds for 8 seasons, or however long that show is.
I just know I love you. But Kathy Bates is in there.
Oh, Kathy Bates is a treasure.
Yeah, Ramsey's in there. So there's just so many wonderful people.
Everyone's
just
like,
scattered
what
throughout
reference
that
to Kathy
one.
Bates is that?
Music that's in there sets the tone
That's
wonderfully. Just I will talk about this for hours, but I'm so stoned right now. You can go with either one, but I love the movie. The movie is my heart. I will always own a copy of it in some way, shape, or form. I have it on my computer. I have it on DVD, and I have it in my heart. So
That's the business.
yeah.
Have you guys seen that movie?
No.
I have not.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's a movie we all need to check out. Yeah, and yeah, I hope let us know, Ms. Fernarnia, how that goes. Let us know how that fried green tomato journey is. If you do book or movie first, let us know. Now that was all the emails we had. Thank you, Spam, for your emails. We love you.
Say hi to us.
Kisses to you.
Mwah, mwah.
Bezel.
Make with the mama.
No,
Make with the mama.
Snack Queen.
Hi.
We will eventually have some type of wacky news type intro made for this because I think this will definitely be a continuous thing. But I think it's time to get to some snack goes over Reddit posts here.
Yeah, because I love Reddit. I love this shit so
You can
much.
just do like a Batman turns in.
We need we need something.
So I remember the first time I looked up, the Reddit "Am I the Assholes?" but stoner
Yeah.
related, throwing stoner into the search bar. I had to go through so many before I
Fish.
found one actually about weed.
I have a name suggestion.
Yeah.
Can we call this segment "Am I the Stoned Hole"?
Am I the stoned hole?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll think about it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to workshop that.
But now all this time that has passed, there's so many on here. I have a
I wonder if
treasure trove.
I wonder if we started something.
I don't know. I hope so.
Am I the hash hole?
I mean,
I hope so.
We have fans in all different.
Am I the hash hole?
That one, I like that one. I like it more than the previous one. Hash hole. Yeah.
We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure out a name, a segment. We're gonna make snacks and Reddit a thing.
We'll
we're gonna
workshop it.
we're gonna workshop that.
Yeah, but I have 3, and they're actually quite short. I'm surprised. The first one I want to read is "Am I the Asshole?" Just says Weed Edition.
Weed edition.
Original there with your title. So sorry. So it says
We got to roast him a little bit already.
just a little bit. Come on, get creative, guys. You're on Reddit. Your shit might get read. So this says, me and my friends were smoking at a party, and all of a sudden, a guy joins us who's been asking us the whole night if we had weed. We told him yes, but we didn't want to share because it was our last weed, and we bought it. He kept on pushing and asking, and I gave him a rolled cigarette, and he said it was hash and weed melted into tobacco. He mocks regular cigarettes, by the way. As he was smoking it, he told us he got hella high, and afterwards he left us because he didn't want weed anymore. He was already stoned. Were me and my friends assholes for doing this?
Now, the first thing I want to preface here is, depends on what kind of party this was. Depends on it. There's a little context there that I think would change whether or not these guys were assholes. Wait, did it mention like how familiar they were with this guy? Like he was just some rando?
From what it sounded like, because it's not too detailed, but from what the
like
writing
some guy.
implies is that this is just some rando dude that approached them.
Relation
at a
of a
party.
relation type
feel
thing.
like-
Maybe a stranger entirely.
And I'm sorry, did they give him a half weed, half tobacco? Like, did they?
Yeah, is that what it was? Was
It
They
it
give him
a,
a
was-
spliff
let's
joint?
see.
yeah, gave him a spliff?
Let me see. And asking. I gave him a rolled cigarette and said it was hash and weed melted into tobacco.
Okay, so unless they lied to him and told him that it was weed and it was just a hand-rolled cigarette that had no weed in it.
Yeah, I think
And
they
they
mean
lied
they
to
gave
him.
him a tobacco
So if
rolled
they just gave him a
paper
cigarette
and then told him it was
and told him
hash.
it was hash and weed melted together, then yeah, they are the assholes.
Yeah, I think that's where they're
'Cause
the
you
asshole
don't have
more than
to,
anything.
You don't have to share your weed to not lie and give somebody. If they're being hella
Yeah.
pushy, I would go and approach the person at the party, or I would actually stand up for myself and say, "Hey, I've addressed you as an adult, and I've had to do this before, where there's somebody there where I don't know exactly where their
trying.
lips had been, and they were wanting on my stuff, and I said, "Hey, listen." I really appreciate that you would like to smoke right now. That's cool. You've mentioned it multiple times. But I'm going to tell you right now, in this party, at this time right now, in this session, that is not happening for you. So you can keep asking me, and it can get really weird, or you can really just accept that and please carry on. And so would I have been the asshole? I don't think so. But they really kept going at it.
I don't think
And
it's a
so-
problem at a party to tell a person who's like definitely not even your friend
Yeah.
that no, you can't have any of my weed. Like that's super okay.
But
like
to
on multiple
lie to
levels.
them
But to like
give them
bullshit them just to
tobacco.
get them off your back instead of just being an adult and be like, hey man, you really need to stop asking me because you're not gonna get it. Like
think that's
it's not
kinda-
hard to do that. Like
But we don't know if these are really comfortable or shy people, like whoever OP is.
I
So I
mean,
can at least
I
flip
guess-
that coin and say, if anxiety kicks in, like I would probably have a hard time.
I mean,
telling
yeah, if
somebody
it is
no.
a situation where they're like maybe feeling like uncomfortable, where like I don't know, they feel like this guy's gonna like do something
Yeah.
because
I mean,
they're
that's
like
context
you
there,
know
yeah.
like
we need context.
that's definitely understandable. Like if they really were just needed to get this guy off their back because he was getting like real weird, like
Yeah.
that I can, and you're like maybe not in your safest place or you're
Yeah.
not near your safest place. I can definitely understand that side of things. Like I don't think they're just assholes. I think it's a slight asshole move rather than trying to be a little bit more adult about it. Instead of letting him keep asking, just be like, really, dude, like stop asking, or else this is gonna get weird. Like you said, like
yeah, I think context,
especially
makes
if it's
you an
not even
asshole.
your friend. It's like some random rando, like the way it makes it sound, like some basically like acquaintance of an acquaintance maybe that's at this party. Like there's definitely just no. The guy on the outside should have all the boundary, and
Yeah,
as soon as he's
especially
breaking
'cause they're
that,
right.
you now have the right to
Borderline,
be.
It is their property. Like she said, they paid for it.
Yeah, it's
But you
just
also
like,
you also paid for the hand rolled cigarette that you gave them. So where's the weight in that?
yeah,
You know.
But like I do get where you're coming from. If they were like very anxious or feeling uncomfortable, if the guy was if they thought he was really
dominating
going to
over
maybe
It may have been a group of girls that got uncomfortable.
yeah,
with
that's
the
the
dude.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
You also don't know like that.
We
That's
need
more
more
context.
context.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
I
you
think
make these
context-
posts on Reddit, guys, and you're asking a question
Guys,
like that,
Reddit
give
is
details.
The spot to be as detailed as you want.
Yeah, like the Reddit lawyers are here for
like
that.
you're putting
like,
it all on the line right now.
yeah, so I'm not gonna say they're assholes. No, I
But
wouldn't
I will
say
say
they're
pull
assholes.
dick moves.
I'll
Yeah.
say the
Yeah, like a
situation
little-
could have been handled better.
Yeah, like there could have been better decision making, but I don't think they're assholes.
Yeah, not an asshole, but a dick move. You don't need to. But that dude wanted weed. He didn't want tobacco.
yeah.
Yeah, and that dude didn't need to get. And he obviously was just a. The way it sounds after where he basically smoked tobacco and said he thought he was high on weed, he probably was not that bad of a guy. Like, he's probably just some dude who really was like trying to try weed for the first time or some shit. Like,
or might have even been trying to get his Mac on a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
it would have
know.
been out the wrong way.
And again, if it was
It's
like
like
a group of girls and they felt
context.
uncomfortable, that would have sucked too.
Yeah.
Like, that would have really sucked if they really were like, dude, just take this and please leave me the fuck alone. Like, because
Yeah.
they just don't want to get into a weird situation
I would
like
have
that.
been like, then how cool were you with the person whose party that was? Because if I had homies like that, I would have been like, yo, why is this dude acting like that? And I know that anybody whose party I went to would have been like, why are you acting like that?
That is
Like,
another little bit of context. The people who are at the party smoking this weed, how close are you to the people running this party?
Yeah.
You know, are you the same amount of randos that this guy is?
Or you,
'Cause then
this guy
it's
who
like,
was trying
well,
to smoke
it's-
with you may be more familiar with the house owners than you are.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like that guy really made that clear if it was that situation, you know, and that's where it's like that's where the situation can be handled better, just a little bit more like adult communication of just like nah, like no, use words, not just this is my last weed, like no, just tell him like stop asking, man, like go ask someone else or you know go figure out how to get your own, dude, like. It's 2023. Go to a fucking store, dog.
It's pretty legal in a lot of spots.
Like, go to a store and go get a
This is the
$7
time.
joint as an
There's a
18
website-
plus year
there's
old.
a website called Weed Maps.
I mean, it's just like, you know, like it is weird to hear stories sometimes about people getting bothered for weed at parties nowadays. If it's also, especially if it's in like a legal state, you're just like, really? Like, if you're legally able to smoke, you should just go get your own.
I like that question though. But
Now, that's an interesting situation, but
being
yeah,
an asshole.
Redditors, bring some more context
Right.
though. Bring some
Yeah.
more context so we
Please.
could have some better information on that.
What other fire you got for us?
So I have this one here called Am I the asshole for calling the non-emergency line on people smoking weed on the subway? Recently, I was taking the subway home from work.
Lucius. Well, we already know Lucius's idea on this guy's a fucking dick.
Yeah. So, yeah, they
continue.
said recently, I was taking the subway home from work. When I got in the car, somebody was smoking and it reeked of weed.
in the car.
To the
In
point
subway car.
where at the first stop, I switched cars. So passive aggressive.
You know if it was like maybe
right.
2 stops. Like,
I'm not even done. I'm so sorry.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, hey, maybe they gave good details.
Generally speaking, I don't care if people smoke on the subway, even though the subway forbids smoking inside.
They just
Even
can't enforce
weed.
it.
If people chose to smoke at home away from others, that's none of my business. When I got to my stop, I called the non-emergency line to report it. I don't want the people smoking brutalized by police or something, but I don't want my subway to reek whenever I get on and don't want to smell like weed. Frankly, I think if you chose to smoke weed in such a blatant manner on the subway in public, you sort of accept whatever legal consequences there might be. So am I an asshole?
I would say as long as the non-emergency line is the proper line to call for citations on subway issues and not like if they should have maybe called like subway security if they have that or if like honestly no. If it was just like outside the train car and like in the subway, not in the subway car, I could understand that. And if they're really like, if they really were chiefing it up in there, that is like just very inconsiderate in today's day and
Right.
age. We're not in the fucking 1930s anymore. Like you can't just smoke anywhere, and that's been accepted for decades and decades and decades, and it should not be encouraged. It's very unhealthy for people with cancer, uncurable diseases that have to take the subway. I mean, like you can just name the countless inconsiderate
110%.
like situations that you're putting people in, and to actually just move cars, which is it is kind of like a little passive aggressive to move cars and call, as long as that's the proper place to call. I don't think they're an asshole.
She said
I really don't.
She said she had to move cars to the
Non-emergency.
stop, so that tells me that she's at a place where it's a subway that is separated in old school fashion. Like she's somewhere like New York or Chicago.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a place like the Bay Area, our subway system, you can move in our cars within travel.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
cars are all connected. You can just travel in between them like a train. So in that subway, I've seen videos in New York where they were dealing with times where those trains are absolutely flooded with hundreds and hundreds of people, and times where you'll see rows and rows and rows of cars where there's just maybe 1 or 2 people in each car.
Yeah.
And I've seen it where there's been like 1 or 2 cars, and there's those people that are in there just absolutely burning it up. And so if this dude just is sitting in this car, and this lady gets on there, and dude's burning it up in this car, and she has stuck on that car and has to breathe in that smoke, that's fucking trapped. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if
You're
it is,
trapped.
especially if it is a trap
I
between
do
stop
know
situation, that's even worse.
That the
honestly.
trains there stop more frequently.
Yeah, because they're like going like just barely like a
Couple
you know,
blocks.
couple blocks.
Couple blocks. So there's that. And she said she didn't call the people until she got to her destination. So also snitchy bitchy for like moving a car and then being like, I'm gonna get off the train.
That's where I
and
want
then
the
I'm gonna
context.
call.
Like,
and I'm like,
there's usually in public transit,
there's transit
there's a
security.
transit security.
I
Like,
know
what
BART's
you-
transit security don't do shit though.
But they
But that's in Bay
exist.
Area.
but that's if you're gonna snitch and you're gonna
And they're
like
not a local authority per se. They're not like
Yeah.
a cop.
and especially if it's
yeah.
New York or Chicago, even if it's non-emergency, they ain't dealing with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
They
who
ain't
would
got
be-
time
I
for
don't know
that.
if that non-emergency line is the right line. I don't.
That's
know
where I'm like,
Yeah.
that's where I'm like, well, next time, like, and also, again, I think it could be another situation where, like, if they didn't feel comfortable, because, like, if it was maybe a one-on-one and this person was like, if I try to say something and a physical altercation happens,
Right.
which obviously happens on the subway to people
Oh yeah.
all the fucking time. And in New York or Chicago, some of those people are worried about getting murdered.
Yeah.
You know?
Legally,
So
they
it's
aren't
like,
the asshole. First of all.
No,
Yeah.
definitely
Legally,
not.
they're
Like,
not the
there's
No.
almost no reason for them being the asshole, other
Nope.
than like maybe getting a guy who's smoking in like a lot more trouble than he needs to be.
Yeah.
That's really where I would have any concern about being an asshole. Like they kind of mentioned it. Like they didn't really want this person to like get abused by some cop that just comes in mad because he just got brought in on this bullshit call kind of thing. Where so
But
they
the
thought
public,
about
you have
that.
to worry about smells. You
Yeah.
she didn't want to have
Yeah.
to worry about being
Yeah, going
reeking
into
that smell.
work,
You
if
have to
someone's going
worry
into
about
work.
those smells. But then also, you can go into work and be like, man, there was some guy that was just smoking on the subway.
And just hope you
And-
have a cool
Yeah.
boss and
Yeah.
like a place
You
that's
know?
okay with that, and hopefully places are like aware of that.
yeah.
Like,
And they'll be like,
climate.
yeah, we live here. Of course, somebody was smoking on the subway. And then
Yeah.
you'd be like, yeah, I called the transit authority. And if your boss worried about there, see, look, I did.
Yeah, I don't.
know?
I don't think they're an asshole at all. Really.
I don't think they're an
I think
asshole.
they had a lot of right. As soon as you said in the car, I was like, "Oh, that's really bad."
Yeah.
Already
And I
in the
had to
subway was like
reread,
kind of
'cause I'm
bad.
just like, was it just smelling like weed?
And then,
Or were
yeah, they
actively
mentioned also they were
smoking,
lighting-
But they said
yeah.
they were actively
Yeah,
lighting
that's
up in
just
the car.
not okay.
Yeah,
That's a
definitely-
person
yeah.
doing a not okay thing.
So-
like,
Definitely
Caller,
smoked a joint
not an
on,
asshole.
on the platform before at a BART station.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always gone away from the people and made sure that I was in like a non-covered area.
yeah, and a lot of those stations are even out in the open too.
Yeah, but they still say no smoking
yeah,
on the
that's
platform.
true. That is true.
All the cars say no smoking. I do know on 420. Good luck.
oh yeah, I
Good
mean out in
luck.
the bay. Yeah,
That
that's
shit's tight. I'm sorry. That's
and
the
that
time
is
I'll say
and
that.
honestly, that's unfortunate too. I don't think our community should do that either.
No,
it's
I don't-
not okay.
But my Bay Area hyphy assness when it was going down on 420 and I was going out to fucking fuck, I can't even remember the name of it right now. The fucking big ass park in San Francisco.
Golden Gate
Hill?
Park.
Golden Gate Park, yeah, that one, yeah.
Going to Hippie Hill?
Hippie Hill. Oh yeah, I went there 4 years in a row, and I would take the BART from Del Norte all the way.
That's
to
now
Del
history
Norte.
because they don't even let
Yeah.
you do that anymore.
Dang, I've always wanted to go to Hippie Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You,
the last 3 years they haven't let
Has
it
it
happen.
really?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
I thought it got kind of sanctioned for a minute, and it actually
People
became
just
really public.
kept getting. It was
they-
the trash issue, and then also
Yeah.
like the restrictions the city started placing
was
on it
what made
every
it-
year got worse and worse. So then a
Yeah.
lot of people were just like, "Never mind,
So
I don't
one
want to
of
do
the
it."
last years I went, there was people barbecuing. There was people selling glass out there. I would walk down there. People were like, got edibles, got ounces,
Aw.
whatever.
They were trying to
And
make
it was-
people not smoke at one
huge.
of the last ones.
It was crazy, huge, super big.
They didn't want that much public
And
smoking an issue and
I
whatever. I don't know.
got on Muni, and on Muni, people were just lighting up, and they were opening all the windows up, and it was just every Muni car you could see in San Francisco on the way to Hippie Hill, which just had trails of smoke
Oh,
coming out
Lord.
of it. And I was just like,
That's just unfortunate.
oh my god, this is amazing.
I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, I can't say I wouldn't be part of it either if I was in the like, how
I got
much
accused
more
of
of an
being a
asshole.
cop 6 times.
And how many like people on there, like, I'm sure a lot of people were smart enough to go like, I'm definitely not taking public transit.
They
today,"
were.
'cause
I will tell you.
I'm sure it was like 99.9% of people
I
on there.
can walk.
They
Then
got
maybe-
there's something that got learned real quick though. I remember seeing a couple being like, "Oh my god, what's happening?" And we're like, "Oh, it's 420. It's the stoner holiday." And they're like, "Oh my god, so this is okay today?" And we're like, "No, it's not supposed
yeah,
to. Be.
it's not
This is the
okay.
most illegal
Wait, you're
thing."
telling me one day here
the
the government allows everyone to
Yeah,
smoke
we're
everywhere?
like, hell
It's
no,
like,
they
no.
don't. But they're really not trying to
Wrong,
stop
Karen,
20,000
wrong.
people deep right now across the city of San Francisco. And Yeah, like if you go on YouTube today and you just look up Hippie Hill and type in the year behind it, you will see the 420 cloud.
Oh yeah,
go up. It's amazing. And it's shit now. So yeah,
but
sorry about
but this person not an asshole for that one.
sorry.
That's not 420.
Once again, the situation could have been handled better.
Yeah, a little, I think, but I would also like. We don't have the context of the amount
That's
of people
true.
there because again, if you're worried about a physical altercation or like just even a loud verbal altercation as a person, I can understand passive aggressively going to the next car and like waiting till I'm off to like call in case someone hears and wants to tell that person I'm calling. You know, I can like kind of imagine that. Like I said, Lucius mentioned like it could easily be New York or Chicago. Like that could be a situation where you're like, I don't want nothing.
No,
to
I'm
do.
wondering. I'm like, which one is it New York? Is it San Francisco?
What's funny is it'll be like some fucking New Hampshire fucking subway, like their only subway of like, you know, just super small subway. But no, I don't think they're the asshole. I think they handled it the best they probably thought they could at the time.
They're talking about a sandwich shop. They're actually in a Subway.
Oh my God. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
So this last one is called "Am I the asshole for smoking weed after my boyfriend told me he didn't want me to?" So it says,
Boyfriend's a little bitch. Sorry.
take notes, ladies.
You're not an asshole, but he's a bitch. So.
All right. So it says, my 21 female boyfriend, 22 male, came over to stay for a couple of days. I'm a regular weed smoker, and he goes through phases of smoking regularly
Phases.
and not smoking for months. He is currently in a no smoking period. We woke up in the morning, and he was on the phone to a friend.
I'm already really heavy on one side, boys.
So I went and finished last night's doob and came back to
Fucking
cuddle.
A. What the fuck? Yeah.
Right? He said, "You smoked, didn't you?"
Okay. Okay.
And I was like, "Yeah, I finished last night's roach." But he was upset at me for smoking, saying he didn't want to spend, or he didn't want to be around people who are out of it, as his dad is suffering an alcoholism relapse, which is affecting him a lot.
Wow.
Oh, there's more.
Oh,
There's
it got
more.
dark pretty quick.
They're like this guy's unpacking right now.
Right. Just trauma dumping on her.
No, literally, like this is like he's
So, smoking is a part of my daily routine. So, I didn't really think before finishing the joint. I then left to go to a meeting, and when I came back, we went for a walk into the supermarket and made and ate food together. I was honest with him, and I said, "I'm going to be honest, I really would like to smoke a joint right now. I suffer from anxiety and
poor girl.
depression and am in the process of getting an ADHD diagnosis. And after more than a week working with no days off,
checks
I was looking forward to chilling and smoking a J and cuddling. You know,
fucking A, man.
A.
Yeah.
Speaking my language.
he got mad at me, and
Oh
we
my
didn't really
God.
talk much of the evening. So
What?
I did eventually smoke, and he spent the evening pushing me away and not talking. In the morning, we cuddled, and he told me he thinks I don't understand, and I'm not sorry. I apologized for hurting him, but I'm not fully sure if I'm sorry for smoking.
Girl, I got
Am
like
I an
12 years
asshole?
on you, but I'm here for you.
Yeah, am I an asshole?
No.
I want to
No,
really quickly. I know where we all stand so heavily right now. I will play just a tiny devil's advocate real quick for them to give them small representation in the conversation. I can understand where someone may have the feeling or feel like someone is being insensitive to their trauma, whatever you want to call it, their trauma that they're going through right now. Here's the thing, dude. You first of all have smoked on and off. That's immediately like since you've been back and forth on it. Where's your defense there? Like, what's the difference between me doing this now and you doing it 6 months ago? Like, no one was being so justice warrior about it back then, right? Number two, like, how long have they been together, and how serious? And it's something you obviously knew signing up for the relationship and going through the relationship and partnered with in the relationship. And at what point do you think you all of a sudden, because of something you are going through as a partner, have the all of a sudden right to control part of someone's absolute daily routine for them? They're also telling you and trying to explain to you is for their trauma. and like you're gonna try to control that while you're asking them to be sensitive for your trauma. Like where's the defense in that?
It's disrespectful.
No, you're not the asshole, girl. What the hell? No, you're not.
No. And now I want to cuddle because
It's just like
she says cuddle.
It just seems that's so unreasonable.
It's giving immaturity emotionally on her partner's end.
And to just like flip the switch as soon as we all heard like you smoked, didn't you? Like, okay, bro. Like you didn't know. Like you didn't know.
That's like
that,
immature way to start a conversation.
Absolutely.
I'm just he was looking for a fight. This fucker was looking for a fight.
Picking fights.
She didn't even roll up a brand new one and like dedicate her morning to it. She finished
last night's roach.
That was probably half done.
All right. And she was like,
I don't want to be with people who are out of it.
Spruced up for the morning.
My good sir.
It's just like, do you say that to your friends when you're a designated driver and they're drinking?
And also, it's just a studied and a pretty strongly supported theory at the time still that there is not literally a found addictive trait in cannabis. Anytime someone is addicted to cannabis, they have found is the type of addiction that comes internally. It is you can get addicted to anything. You can get addicted to things that you cannot physically touch. So it obviously doesn't have what like nicotine and alcohol. They have like a literal drug and like reaction in your brain that causes addiction. Like that's the real addiction. Like personal addiction is what happens if someone gets addicted to weed, like would do anything for weed and ruin their life for that's what addiction does to most people. So it's like to throw it in that conversation while you have a family member going through a real
chemical addiction,
a chemical, almost uncontrollable addiction is kind of silly and just ignorant in the first place. So like you're not allowed to control anybody's right to do that at that point because you're also just fucking not. And you have not read up on that subject, obviously, even though you care like so much about the sensitivity of the subject, but you won't even look up like the actual meaning of it, obviously.
For me, it's also the fact that like she's not like a 24/7 like she's not high every fucking minute of her
like
life.
She,
she said that she hadn't smoked in like 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like she doesn't smoke during the weekdays.
Nah.
Good on you, girl. Get your J in.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. She's definitely not the asshole.
You are not the asshole. Like I said, he's the bitch. You're not the asshole.
I hope no one on that Reddit post thought
they were marked as not the asshole.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad the majority took that because
Control-y pants can fuck off.
It was not very long into that. We were all like, really now?
And I think I saw someone commented, and they're like, "Look, you're absolutely you have the freedom to do what you want to do. So there's that aspect.
Yeah,
they have the freedom to feel how they feel.
100%.
Your feelings, whatever feelings you're feeling, are valid feelings.
Yeah, you can feel that.
You're making your problem.
You can either deal with those feelings because I'm not going to do that, or this isn't going to work. I mean, that's really
like,
that's how that turns
smoking,
into.
Then don't date a stoner.
Yeah,
but you're 50-50. Like sometimes you're a stoner, sometimes you're not.
And you also smoked with her sometimes before.
Hypocrisy.
Like
I like this segment from you, Snacks. This is really good.
Let's grab some more Reddit posts for the future.
Yeah, right? We're needing more snacks in Reddit. That's a formula for success. Good conversation, little intensity because we get a little into it.
Information.
It's about weed, and that one really got me. The other two were like, I'm just kind of curious about that. Like that's interesting. Yeah, context. That last one was like,
fucking asshole.
Like, yeah, like I felt defensive with her about that one a little bit. Like, oh my gosh. Wow. Well, that was
workshop
wonderful.
A list of names and just send them your way.
Yeah, that was absolutely wonderful. And you know what, guys?
And guys, don't be an asshole.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, email us if you don't even want Reddit to tell you, and you just want 42 Strains to tell you if you're the asshole. Email us.
Yeah, if you want to,
am I the assholes?
Just serve some tea real quick. I will gladly. Read all of them.
Yeah, Snack has no problem.
As I am a Jamosa.
She enjoys tea time.
All right, and you know what? You know what time it is now? You know what time it is now? I mentioned a little earlier. It's
Wacky News!
yeah, that's right, baby. Wacky News is back. It's been a few episodes, guys, but we're back. Wacky News is back. Welcome
Good to
back.
see
We got
you.
a bunch of
Crazy how
stories.
Surfer Dan can just do that from wherever he is in the world. He's not even here, and he just manages to just chime in for the song.
He is pretty old. I'm pretty sure he knows magic. Like
It's his
He's a
spirit.
wizard.
absolutely.
No, we just have the spirit of Surfer Dan here.
Oh, and I
Wizard
just
dinosaur.
we mentioned Wizard. I just want to quickly say I hope everyone is enjoying Hogwarts Legacy to the fullest.
It's a great game. It's a wonderful game. There's
fantastic
nothing wrong with the
game.
game. It's so fun. I want to play more of it right now. But instead, I'm here.
Exactly. If you had any questions about 42 Strains feels about that game, we feel it's awesome.
Instead, I'm here.
We have 5 stories today, guys.
Whoa.
The first 2 are going to be not necessarily wacky, but they definitely are going to be cannabis related that I wanted to go over. So that's going to be and both pretty cool stuff. So that's going to be great. The first one is New York doubles adult use cannabis dispensary license in New York from 150 to 300. So that just means that there will now be more licensed cannabis shops and places in the state of New York rather than, like less. So it'll be more available to medical
Yeah, that's
patients,
great.
more available to
There's
recreational
a fuck ton of
patients.
people there.
Yeah, New York obviously has a lot of people. They need a Starbucks every 5 inches.
And that applies to the whole state. Like 150 could barely cover just the city, let alone the rest of the
That's
state.
100%. Yeah, that's they.
Right, yeah.
They,
Yeah, thank
they,
you.
The math isn't mathing.
They pretty
Hold on.
much.
Yeah, my head was just like, wait a minute, city of New York, state of New York, is state license.
I'm sure if they, I'm sure when they made because New York's just pretty recent on kind of like the legality of everything.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
pretty
in
sure
their
when they
freshman
first
year.
made it, they knew they had to just put out that like really low number, and they knew that like they just knew like that's gonna get doubled easily within the first year or two. Yeah, according to Spectrum News report, that's where it's from, the State Office of Cannabis Management has so far received about 900 dispensary license and has issued 66 provisional license. It comes amidst a lawsuit by a Michigan-based cannabis company that has delayed the awarding of licenses in Brooklyn, Central New York, the Finger Lakes, Mid-Hudson area, Western New York. It looks like it was a pretty big legal mess. It pretty much was like the state, I guess, had some issues with like restricting some of these like newer people trying to come into the industry as it was becoming fresh legal in certain states. And I guess it opened up a lawsuit in places like Michigan, and this affected how essentially New York decided to handle the amount of places and license that they can give out. And so also like helps the farmers. So more like, local farmers can be sourced and used for these shops. That's really good. Dispensaries do create jobs. I cannot stress enough how much that cannabis industry does need reform on its work industry, because some bud tenders and people in the industry are so awful and so bad at their job that it's like it's very obviously been the wild
You
wild
can definitely
west.
say there's people that sell
Everybody's
weed.
fucking cousin is in the dispensary because they
Yeah.
smoke a lot of weed with their cousin, and you're just like, you don't know anything about cannabis. And I'm not even claiming to be someone who should be in that position either. I love learning a lot, and I love learning about cannabis all
Yeah,
the
if
time.
somebody give me the
But if
like, tell me
I'm
the good
just
read materials
literally-
to learn the shit, I would
Yeah,
do
and if
it.
I'm just a normal goer and I'm sitting there like obviously knowing you don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about, that's not good. You're supposed to be the professional. That's not good. So I'm glad it creates more jobs, but I do really think we need big job reform on cannabis. But go New York, get some more places in there, get some more jobs out there. We're all about that still. That's good for economy. That's good for people in the cannabis industry. This one is about California, so this is a little bit more our speed here. It looks like this proposal that California has put in recently would allow for live performances and the sale of food and non-alcoholic beverages at legal cannabis cafe locations. It would legalize cannabis cafes in California. Recently, it had only basically been legal in like L.A. Lowell's Farm was able to open up a cannabis cafe down in L.A. I think they were able to do like a city ordinance type thing that was, like the state didn't have a problem with that or whatever. However that shit works, I definitely don't know anything about that. But they were definitely able to do it.
Pipes.
They were definitely able to do it legally, obviously, because they were doing it in the broad daylight, right in the center of L.A., and nobody was batting an eye. But this actually would allow, like, any company now could open up a cannabis cafe in California. It looks like it's because, I mean, we all kind of talked about this a couple years back, but it looks like a big quote kind of taken from, looks like Haney via the Times, is the legal industry is losing to the illegal cannabis industry. And one thing that the legal cannabis small business can offer is an experience. Cannabis businesses told us that they may have to close their doors unless the laws change the regulations that prohibit them from offering other products like food and beverages and things like that. So like all these places that are like, we can sell weed, but we like can't sell you anything else while we're doing this. Like all those restrictions were really hindering like what the experience they could offer people to make them come there more often for the higher pricing, which is usually was an issue. I do know from my cousin, who's actually kind of in the state, he's kind of like part of the state's legal fight for cannabis rights right now. He does know that there's something on the floor right now to basically take away some of those taxes, because even though they are good and they all went to good things, they are very high here. Like cannabis taxes are insane here, and everyone even knowing that they go to good places and all that stuff, and it's for good stuff, it's still so too high. Like cannabis is just way too expensive with the taxes, 100%. So it looks like this is going to help at least with their ability to kind of front for that price more, give more of an experience. So I kind of like that. I'll definitely be excited because I guarantee Sacramento is gonna want to get a hold of that at some point. And
the state capital wants.
We could
like
very easily see one of those in our
Green
nearby
Solutions.
area.
I love Green Solutions.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see either like some clubs we like turn into like hybrid cafe type things. Not saying I want like Starbucks to carry any cannabis or anything like that, but it'd be cool to see like mom and pop. It'd be pretty cool to see like mom and pop coffee shops like really transition and take a hold of like people don't understand. It is right now. It is like a really like a limitless. If you want to play their game right now, it is like a limitless industry right now. If you get into it and can get a hold of it, because it just is gonna keep growing and
The little
growing.
toddler right now.
Huh? Yeah, it is.
Toddler.
It is. Yeah, it is a little bratty toddler right now, and it's not looking amazing, but it's definitely better than nothing at all. Because before, doesn't matter. Nobody wants to go back to buying behind a Blockbuster or outside a movie theater or from
meeting outside
Dude,
super late at night of a local like laundromat.
Nobody wants that anymore.
But
it's
man,
just
the prices were so good sometimes.
They definitely were. Yeah, that's that. I mean, and that is where they are losing to illegal cannabis. I did read another thing, not one of the articles here, but I did read another article that said like California last year confiscated 880,000 kilos of illegal cannabis last year still.
That's a lot.
That's a lot for having legal, like very available cannabis.
So unnecessary.
But when you want to talk about price and the cannabis clubs have people in there who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, doesn't help either. You don't have people in there excited to be bud tenders. They're just excited to get free weed. Like you can tell when you're in those cannabis clubs. And there's just a dude back there who's like, yeah, man, I got sativas and indicas. Like I got this strain. And like that's how far it goes. And you're like, dude, some people are really in there for very specific medical reasons and really want strains to do different things for them. And I've read nightmare stories of people like, I really wanted to get this for my hunger and I had anxiety. You're like, oh my God, that's terrible. Like it shouldn't do that to you. And you need, that's where that reform needs to happen, I think, just because we need that to happen. And it'll also
need more educated people working in the cannabis industry.
And there is courses that people do run, not a lot, but I mean, like we do need some more education on cannabis.
Lucius has a cousin that knows so much, was just talking my ear off one of the times I was hanging out with him about like the different like scientific components that goes into growing.
I love it.
Sounds
love
like
it.
somebody who attended Oaksterdam University.
And it's like, and honestly, those are the kind of guys who should be the first ones to get opportunities to be like teachers, in this type of thing. And, and unfortunately what kind of stops it too is the fact that it's not very studyable at a scientific level anyway. Like only for the last year or two has it been even like really like legally studyable by a state if they want to, because the federal finally lowered it one level on its list of bad drugs. If you have what class it is, when it was with like heroin and all kinds of crazy shit. So like that's gonna be the dominoes that fall too, and I can't wait for that to happen, because that's what when you see the federal government like let that go more, that's when you're gonna see really, really quick growth, because they're gonna take advantage of that. So go California, let's get some cafes out there. I'd love to eat some weed cookies while looking out on my city. Yeah, I don't drink coffee, but I would still probably enjoy like a good milk or something like that with my cookie. Because I'm a basic ass bitch like that,
I feel like a little French, like how they when they drink their coffee and smoke their cigarettes.
A little French.
Us Americans.
Oh shit, dude.
Us filthy Americans can smoke joints.
We should
and
enjoy
have coffee.
culture.
Spark up a joint and
culture.
then be like burger in one hand, joint in the other.
Honestly,
in
the
public.
way they smoke
Lord.
cigarettes still, I don't think they have room to fucking talk about smoking
Who?
weed. French people.
Who? Oh, they can talk about it all they want. It just
It's
won't
one
make
of the
sense.
biggest complaints about people who go and visit France.
Excuse
But
me.
it's
And
mostly
going to
all
Pa-
the people that visit Paris directly. I've actually met some very nice
Yeah,
gentlemen from like out in like the country.
No, France as a country is not really like,
But Parisian smoking.
but like when they go to like where you go, when you go to like when you go to Paris and people have these like imaginations of like this wonderfully like clean, beautifully lit Paris, they're like, no, you need to imagine it at like 2 p.m. on a Wednesday when everyone who lives there is doing their
We
normal
say it
thing,
with as much
and
love
they
as we
all
can.
are smoking. I've also been to Nashville, Tennessee. It's the same way.
Dublin, Ireland is the same way.
Oh, I bet.
You remember when I went on my solo trip and I
Yeah.
told you as soon as I stepped like halfway out of the airport in Dublin, I was like, dear God, it reeks of
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Yeah,
oh
like
my
seriously.
God.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not going to necessarily, talk about trading it for the urine smell in the Bay Area sometimes.
We don't
but
talk about
I will, because it's fucking awful.
Oh,
It's
when I was
so
working in
bad.
the city, I got to play a cool game called Count the Heroin Needles.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know.
Oh, that one in San Francisco.
It's
oh,
a
yeah.
game. It's insane.
You gotta-
Like, and the numbers vary.
So
Like
yeah.
I've had an 8-day and I've had an 82-day. You're like, holy shit.
So now we're gonna move away from cannabis news. That was kind of my major cannabis news. There was another thing that I was gonna kind of go over, but I didn't really. It was kind of like more of a political like pish posh. One study came out about cannabis and like heart disease. It was one of those like cannabis causes more chance of heart disease or whatever. But then it was like I looked into the study, and it was like is another one of those studies where they didn't necessarily separate people who also smoked cigarettes. They didn't.
Oh, well,
It's also funded by like very anti-cannabis companies just by chance. I can't remember the names of them because they were like big acronyms. But when I looked up, it's like they were like literally either
It's a biased,
for
non-real
cigarettes.
study.
It was either like they were a for cigarettes company, so it's like they don't like cannabis because most people who smoke cannabis won't smoke cigarettes because they're like, that shit's gross. What the fuck? And I don't want cancer. Like that's a big one. Or it was like a company who was just like very like obviously like conservative and like just doesn't like any of that and wants it to go away kind of thing. Like, so I didn't really want to give it much airtime because I thought it was useless, as most cannabis studies
Thank
are
you.
right now, because they never actually do a proper study on it. Really, there's a few, but they need to do a little bit better
Thank you
with that too.
for being there
I was
for
like,
us.
meh. So we're gonna move away from that. We have a Guinness Book of World Records story today. We've done a few of those on the podcast. before.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's a very good heartfelt one. I think
Oh.
we'll all enjoy this. A 7-year-old baseball umpire seeks to make a new section in the Guinness Book of World Records for the youngest umpire to be. He's from Louisiana. It doesn't look like they give his name, probably because he's like 7. you know, some.
As long as he actually calls the game right and he's not one of them bitch ass.
So there is-
That's where my brain went to. I'm like, is it but little liars, like little kid liars?
I'm not gonna lie. There's a video, and I have seen video of this kid before. He does got a lot of attitude. I can't say if he
He's
calls a
already
good.
walking into the game with a
He's
chip on his
kicked
shoulder.
players out. He's kicked players out. He's kicked fans out.
Oh, it's that kid. No, fuck that kid.
It is that kid.
I know who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. Nah, he's a dick ump waiting to happen. He's a dick
He
ump
could
waiting
be.
to happen.
I don't
couldn't
actually
wait,
know
that's the
that.
thing,
I don't
you
know
know?
if he calls a good game or not.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
And
he
I
can call
also
a
don't
good
know.
game.
From what I've read in some of the comments on his post, I do think some of the kicking them out is staged.
Cool.
I do think like some of the
Cool.
fan kick out was staged, and I don't know for sure, but I do think maybe the player one was too, because the player that got kicked out, he looked like
just kind of fun.
yeah. I think it was like end of game.
We're inflating this kid's ego. Knock it off, people.
I could feel that argument too. You know, he's
Hey,
only
whatever.
7,
I mean, if
and
it's
now the
staged,
7-year-old's
if it's
trying to
a
hold a
joke-
Guinness Book of World Records. That's gonna ego. That's
I mean,
gonna
if he
ego right
deserves
there.
that record, then cool.
I mean, technically, at this moment, there's no irrefutable evidence to make him not own that record. I don't see a 6-year-old umpire.
I mean,
anywhere.
is he a certified ump?
He is. Yeah. No, he is. Yeah.
Then he has.
He's
the
allowed
record.
to umpire like
Give him the record and then call the news. And why is he getting 2 articles? Because they're going to make another big deal.
Well, because the news is trying to help him. Like Guinness Book of World Records, I think has like requirements for you to like create a new record. Lots of people do it. I don't know if you know this is a thing. Some people have a thing about creating and breaking world records, like, and they want to hold that record. It's a whole community of people that do this. So it'll help him if the news shows it and like he gets like a lot of shout outs and like a lot of attention, because then Guinness will want to put it in their book. So people and put it on their website probably, because I'm sure they have a website and people want to go to their website. And, they can, make money off of selling tickets at Guinness Book of World Records in Hollywood and have his little retired 7-year-old sized umpire vest on a little stool with a little plaque that was like youngest umpire ever. And he's kicking somebody out, looking all attitude. It could be cool. But yeah, he could also, he could ruin the World Series one day. I don't know.
All I'm saying is this kid's had his villain story start, his origin story. His villain
Yeah,
origin
why is
is
this-
starting
yeah.
I
here.
said it was heartfelt. How did we turn this into the villain
Then again,
story?
the kid's head always does.
Oh my god! I like how we have
Then we're
zero
gonna get
faith in
into
this kid.
game fixing.
I feel
where
like
they're gonna
oh
talk to the
my
kid
I feel
ahead
like
of
this is
time.
the opposite
Start
of
paying
Richie
him off.
Rich.
Wow. I'm sorry.
People were like, hey,
They
if
didn't
I
give
do
his
your
name in the
week's
article,
worth
but
of
I'm sorry,
homework,
little
you got to give us the W on Saturday and shake on it.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 chocolate milks at lunch tomorrow if you let my
you
brother
gotta-
if you let my brother hit it home.
The
What?
kid's walking out there
This
with
kid's gonna
big
be
league
talking
chew,
to
thinking he's
mafias
the
in 5
shit.
years.
Damn, man, we've demonized this kid like so
He demonized
quickly.
himself staging, fucking kicking people out.
Look, it's cute, man. It's pretty
I'm
cute.
saving him the heartbreak when he's an adult, and that's going to be his
He's
fun
got the
fact
shades on.
when he's talking to women about,
got
like,
the
hey,
shirt
guess what?
tucked in.
I'm a
Hide
world
his
record
lying
holder for being the youngest umpire. And women start laughing at him.
Honestly, I don't know. Some women might really.
They might like that.
There be maybe
at
not
least
some,
gonna
but
be
maybe one.
There's gonna
Maybe
be
one.
I was gonna say opposite. There's gonna be at least one that looks at him and goes, "You're out."
Oh my god, that
Or
would
they're
be
gonna have a
amazing. I would
best
hope so.
friend that's
Actually,
just like, Billy, no one gives a fuck about your world record.
if he
Shut
does
up."
try to flaunt it in high school, that will be an issue.
Yeah.
That will be an issue in high school for sure. For a lot of people,
They're
I
gonna
think.
become that annoying neighbor kid in almost all of Adam Sandler's early films.
That was out of the Sandler.
That
example.
that is very well spoken. That just blew my mind a little bit. It's like they would be that kid.
They would
like,
be that kid.
Oh my goodness.
They're
okay.
the Kimmy Gibbler of their neighborhood.
Now we're gonna go. Now we're gonna switch vibes a little bit again here on you. The next 2 are gonna be food related.
I like food.
Yeah,
I love food.
agree.
I don't know how much you'll love this.
I'm mad.
So this was in London in the UK. It looks like someone was recently prosecuted in the UK for breaking into the industrial park to steal over 200,000 chocolate Easter eggs, and he is officially pled guilty. And it was worth more than $38,000 worth of chocolate eggs. And they were it looks like they were loaded with Cadbury cream.
Oh,
he was going
there. He's going
risked it all.
Egypt.
He risked it all.
That's for the biscuit, dog.
I mean,
You stole the fucking Cadbury, man.
West Mercia police tweeted Monday that shortly after the break-in, officers stopped a vehicle, presumably purporting to be the Easter Bunny, on a and quoted to tweet that, on a highway and arrested a man on suspicion of theft. And they got him. They got him with the stolen goods.
Man, that's Euro Nestle right there. You fucked with the bull. You got the horns, like
the Cadbury cream.
Bold. Like I commend you. Very bold.
Very bold move,
but like,
Cotton.
you don't come after the mouse. So you don't come after the mouse of chocolate either.
Like, yeah,
like
that's
holiday chocolate.
The Cadbury cream. Like, as soon as it said the Cadbury cream,
cons.
like, indeed, like
I'm
what
not,
necessarily? What
like the
was
heart
he?
Of the
He
ocean.
can't eat it all himself. So what necessarily?
Oh, black market in those things. Cadbury
when you're
Cadbury
that
cream
parent on Easter that forgot to go shopping the night before and all of the Easter candy's fucking cleared out.
Cadbury's got the fancy.
You gotta
wrappers,
know
right?
somebody.
The twirlies.
So the cream eggs are the ones that are completely sealed in foil, and they'll be like red and yellow.
It's
and
like
they
a
have
rainbow
the fondant
one.
in the middle.
And the caramel's like the gold one, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah,
bite
yeah,
the big
yeah.
chocolate
That
eggs and
coordination.
they have the the filling inside.
Yes.
Yeah, those are
The
the Cadbury
show.
cream ones.
And he took the Cadbury cream ones only.
a lot.
That's a lot.
Thousands.
$38,000 worth of
Thousands.
Easter chocolate eggs.
Yeah, because the other ones are those little tiny ones.
Yeah.
The little bite-sized ones that are just
So we've had,
He was Icarus. He flew too close to the sun.
and that sun was chocolate.
chocolatey sun.
Chocolate.
It melted the chocolate sun.
So yeah, we had Fajita Gate, and now we have Chocolate Gate.
Amazing.
So that's the kind of stuff we bring you. And now I have you would think that would be the only story of food theft, but
It
guess
gets
what?
worse.
Oh, this gets way crazier. Okay, this is via Chuck actually.
This is
Thankfully.
the Ocean's 11 of food heist.
And really the title of the article will really do it for you. Former school administrator accused of stealing $1.5 million worth of chicken wings.
Ooh.
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings. Gotta get...
A former director of food services at an Illinois school district is accused of embezzling, which means he probably did it over like years and years and years. This is the first time I'm reading the number of cases, boys.
Do it. I'm scared.
The state attorney for Cook County, Illinois, has charged a former public school worker with stealing 11,000 cases of chicken wings.
Cases.
And cases.
Not individual wings.
No. Not like a pack, not like a freezer box. Cases. These are going to be what the schools receive to feed their whole school that day.
Probably 540 count bags.
Easily,
in
right?
each box.
Yeah, like hundreds of chicken wings in each one. And
I just
only over
know
the
they
span.
were so obvious.
This was over the span of 2 years.
Yeah,
That's quick.
dumbass.
How?
Dumbass.
11,000 cases in 2 years.
You didn't
Oh
even
my
try to hide
That would
No
be like
way.
how much you were
made
taking.
chicken wings not on the menu.
It's one
at the
thing to go under
cafeteria.
the radar and take like one case.
And it was
maybe
also,
two.
they did mention there was some other things, but mainly chicken wings, apparently.
Oh my god.
He faces up to 30 years in prison or a $25,000 fine.
Well, for
Seems
being
like a
that
bullshit fine
blatant-
for a $1.5 million embezzlement.
Wait, what was the fine?
$25K.
It's not
That's
even worth
nothing
the
to
amount
him.
of.
That's
We're in the
nothing.
millions.
That's pennies on that dollar, dude.
Or and.
Read that again.
Oh. 30 years in prison, a maximum fine of $25K, and restitution.
Oh,
So it's all of
probably
it.
gonna have to do
It's
all
all of it.
Oh,
All
they're
of it.
making an
Okay.
example
Okay.
out of
Yeah,
him.
okay. Let me sure.
Yikes, buddy. Was it worth it, bud?
Probably not.
Was it worth the school chicken wings? Like,
Dude.
what?
They're probably not even that good.
No, they can't.
They-
Lucius,
I never
1.5
once
million. He's
had.
facing 30 years in a real jail. There isn't a chicken wing on this planet Earth that is getting me to go to prison for 30 years, dog. No way. In 2 years.
In a real jail.
Look, I love Popeyes. I love Raising Cane's. I love that shit.
I
I would not risk it all
For the biscuit.
chicken.
Dude, I can't believe I was ready to hear like 15 years of embezzling. 11,000 cases in 2 years.
Like, you know what? It started off small and I lost my way and it got out of control.
He couldn't even start off small, dude. Maybe the very first time, but he went from like, I'm going to steal one case, and he's like, I'm buying and taking all the cases.
He saw how easy he can do one case, and he was like, I can do a truck.
Yeah, like
I can do a truck.
the 11K in 2 years. Like, you can't even, I can't even imagine the amount of orders that you'd even have to make in your school orders, even for a whole district, to like hit those numbers. Those are not rookie numbers. We do not have to pump those numbers up. Those are astute numbers in 2 years. He's averaging 5,500 cases of chicken wings a year.
Dude, and like for me, it's like I don't like police officers. I don't like cops, and they made it so fucking easy for them to get caught.
I don't even know
and
like,
arrested.
It was obviously easy. Like someone obviously because of the system, it just took them a while to like really notice the money missing. But then it was like really turned into like a large money. They did some correct person did some correct investigation on their like quarterly report for their food cost, and they were like, what in the good fucking God is going on in our lunches right now? And that's what they found. They immediately found. It probably didn't take them a week to find out who did that.
Did you really think you were going to get away with this?
I just want to imagine how he ate them. I just want to imagine him.
I don't even think he ate all of them. There's probably a bunch frozen.
He couldn't eat all that, right?
No, there's probably a bunch frozen
I've seen the whale.
in his freezer.
I don't doubt anything anymore.
And he probably had to buy a second, like, separate freezer.
Let's say he has a family. Let's say he has a family with 5 kids. Let's say he has a family with 5 kids. Is he eating all of them? Can he eat all of them?
No.
Still can't, you think?
No.
So
11.
I really honestly
It has to be every single
cases.
meal.
11,000 cases.
That there's black markets everywhere, right?
Yeah, like was he selling them to restaurants? Was he selling them to?
Probably had like your grandma had a good freezer in the garage type of thing, and had other freezers that he's managed.
He has
probably
a
in other locations,
freezer room.
Right? Like I bet you he's talked to somebody who's helping him out with this. He's not doing this.
It's unfortunate that all the details in this case are not public because
he's got
it's huge. 1.5 million.
He's selling them to restaurants because I'm not saying that like everyone that I've worked for does things like that. I know not, but I do know that the restaurant has your distributor, and then I've heard some instances where it's like, oh yeah, no, I buy this from this person.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, that from that person? Why that from that person?
Or especially mom and pops. I worked for mom and pop pizza place. I'll tell you right now, my boss would buy those chicken wings in a fucking heartbeat. If he had a good price on them,
he's like, oh,
without
got
a blink.
The seals on them, you got the numbers. Do I have to worry about where the tracking is coming from this? No.
Yeah.
How much?
Done deal.
Is there cameras out here? No.
So we also have we have Fajita Gate, we got Chocolate Gate, and we got Chicken Gate. We got Chicken Wing Gate.
Oh,
Can you believe that?
Do better, guys.
You're here for Wingate.
Don't get caught.
You were here for a good episode, Lucius, because I didn't read that. I usually do read the bit of the articles prehand. I never got to the number of cases, and I never got to the little amount of time that it took. And I was
you did a graduate skim and landed on a gold mine.
And just wow, that was pretty intense.
I saw your brain realize, like, guessing, it's probably gonna be like 5 to 10 years, and then your brain suddenly just read 2.
And the hamster was like, I need to stop. Hold on, what?
He stopped. The wheel kept going.
Like all-star stop.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that was like 2 years. That is literally barely 700 days. That is barely 700 days. 11,000 cases. I didn't even want to start doing the deeper math on wings per day.
Please don't make me do math.
I don't want to. Someone at home do it and email me because I want to know.
Thank you for Narnia.
Please do, because wow, that is just.
He'll get back to us with a number.
Yeah, absolutely. That is all for wacky news, and now we're gonna move into another wonderful section we don't have a theme song for, but we're gonna do some highscriptions today.
Yeah.
Ladies and gents and everyone else, we are gonna do some highscriptions, and the two that are doing highscriptions today is gonna be Snack Queen and our special guest Lucius. Now, which one of you would like to go first?
He can go first.
All right.
Okay.
Now,
He
Lucius.
doesn't even get to see how it's done.
Lucius.
Oh,
no,
actually,
it's
no.
easy. It's easy.
Okay, I was like, should
It's
I
easy.
go first?
Chuck, are you getting timer? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I was doing.
Yeah, get
you know what?
timer.
I haven't even seen this segment, so why don't you go first, Snacks?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
'cause
Come on,
you're-
just the
I
pressure.
do
Just
need
because
to
you're the
tell-
Yeah.
guest, I'll,
Oh,
I'll
I don't
be
have.
nice.
I don't have the big timer. On
I
this
got
one
it. I got it.
I'll go first.
anymore.
All right, now. Now,
Take notes.
I will do a
I
little
will.
quick explanation even before you go. So essentially, you picked your movie. We did have you pick your movie. First, what are your guys' movies? Go ahead, Snack Queen.
My high splation will be Mamma Mia.
So excited for that one. Lucius, what movie are you high splaining to us today?
My high splation will be The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh,
A
so excited for
personal
that too.
Childhood favorite.
I think that's a lot of favorites. It should be.
A classic.
Squeak squeakers, squeak squeaking. And so basically what we do is we take that movie and you need to explain that movie to us while high, but you also have to do it in the time limit of 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So I have the timer going here. I'm going to be on it. And I do usually give a little, like, I'll give a couple updates. I'll give like halfway, or I'll be like 1 minute, you know, I'll give you like a little bit of update through it, but try not to interrupt. And even though the speakers, I think it's funny, the speakers always try to be like, shh, you can't talk while I'm doing it. I've never said that rule. So that's been really funny. So please keep telling us not to comment, but we're definitely going to comment. It's going to be really great. Especially on, I think Mamma Mia by Snack Queen is about to be a treasure.
I'm excited.
Are you good in stone? Do you need? We usually do
Oh,
a
I'm
hit.
still
Okay,
stoned.
cool. That's fine. Just want to make sure. All right. You go ahead and count it down, and I'll start as soon as you do.
Who, me or
You.
Chuck?
You.
Okay. So guys, this is Mamma Mia starting now. Okay, so this takes place on a Greek island. It's modern day, and we are all gathered at the beginning of the film because a
Can already feel
young,
the
beautiful
pressure.
woman named Sophie is getting married. She's getting married on this land that her mother owns, this like shoddy, hella busted ass hotel. And basically, she meets up with her girls that are probably going to be her bridesmaids, and she starts reading off her
probably.
mom's journal about her conquest back in the day, where she finds out
Conquest.
that her mom doesn't know. I mean, she doesn't know either who her father is. That's one thing. She's a
Oh
single
my
mom.
god, the
Ripper
drama's
mother.
building.
We find out that the mom doesn't know who the dad is because in a matter of like 2 or 3 weeks, she hooked up with 3 different guys
Ooh.
and then immediately got
Scandalous.
pregnant. And this was like back in
Oh,
the day where
Mamma
like
Mia.
she couldn't really have the chance at like paternity testing.
No
and
DNA
everything.
test like that, huh?
So this girl doesn't know who her dad is. She's getting married, so she decides she wants to be walked down the aisle by her dad. So she invites all 3 guys.
It's a weird
to
decision
come
for
to the
someone who never
island.
knew their dad. Just saying.
And basically, none of these men know that she exists while she's trying to figure out whether or not they're her father, which one's which. And then the mom finds out when the men start arriving at the island what her daughter has done and is freaking out on top of the fact that she's trying to help plan this wedding for her daughter, make it really special. The mom's friends come into town while she's freaking out about it. They comfort her. And then the mom starts, she meets all 3 of the men at once who have all met each other once they got to the island, not knowing what their possible relationship is to each other. And so the mom is stressing out. The guys are confused, the potential dads. Sophie's stressing out
The
because
potential dads.
she's stressing out about the whole dad issue while not getting nervous about the fact that she's getting married in a couple days. She hides this from her fiance. He's completely clueless, and so is his friends. And
There's so
essentially,
much lying
there's
going on.
lots of lying happening, and it gets really crazy when all the men start figuring out why Sophie possibly invited them. They all confront her at her bachelorette party.
That's
that they
interesting.
think that they're going to be that they're her dad
Halfway.
and wants to walk Sophie down the aisle. All 3 of them without knowing why.
That is just so weird.
And it gets worse when like the mom gets bothered by all the men while Sophie's dealing with her issues of confusion about the dads and her now wedding, the stress of it happening.
This is a musical to ABBA
The mom's
music, by
having
the
to
way.
face her issues of why she didn't tell any of them, and she's contemplating like her motherhood. And basically, after the bachelorette party, she starts talking to her fiance the next day about it. This is like one day leading up to the wedding. She finally fesses up to her fiance. He's fucking pissed at her, and there's so much stress now going into the wedding about whether or not anyone's in a good mood.
I mean, blatantly,
the mom
this
gets into
is
a fight
stressful.
with
But they're singing.
with the person she has
ABBA
the most
music.
feeling for. Yeah, all this ABBA music's happening. It's a musical, guys.
To ABBA music only.
To ABBA music. And basically, Sophie gets up, she gets ready for the wedding. She tries to put it all aside from her. And at the wedding, when it comes down to who she wants to walk with, she decided that she doesn't actually want to have a wedding because she's just happy about the relationship she made with her possible fathers. So she doesn't get married. And then her mom's friends, knowing that she's still in love with one of the men who is also in love with her, but they weren't able to be together back in the day, decide that they should get married. And after some talking, basically they decide to have this wedding that because it was already all set up. People are gathered. They have the wedding. Then fast forward to the reception. And you know everyone's in a good mood. No one cares. Sophie decides she wants to go vacation with her man somewhere. But during the reception, one of the mom's friends ends up falling in love with one of the other guys that was possibly the dad. But we never know. And then one of the other dads comes out as gay. Everyone's happy and dancing to ABBA music, and that's the end of Mamma Mia.
Wow! Wow! With 26 seconds to spare.
Thank you.
Wow.
Way to go.
Wow.
What would you leave out? Kidding.
I really didn't leave much out.
To be honest, just all the musical numbers.
Yeah,
that's what cut a lot of time out of that story. That was like my summer beachy,
girl healing sexual awakening summer.
Yeah, that's
seeing Amanda Seyfried on the beach in a bathing suit. Ooh.
I got to get the right. We got to give it up.
Well, where'd they go? Holy shit.
The live audience is quick, man. They're quick.
Where the fuck did they go?
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start over the timer. Thank you so much. That was everything I wanted. That was everything I wanted from you doing that, literally. Okay, let's do another one, Lucius. Or do you need a little? You need a little in that bowl. You need a little ripperoo before this Emperor's New Groove. I
think I should do a little rip right.
Yeah, here, man. Yeah, hand me that bowl real quick, dude. Yeah, we gotta. It's usually kind of tradition to do it right before the. Right. Oh, Chuck, you want to?
I realized I did leave something out.
Which
the
part?
other mom's friend that's being courted by that super young dude looking for a milk.
Oh, you're hella right, though. You're hella right, though. But no, that's okay, though. But that's okay. You can leave that out. In a high splation, you can leave that out. It's fine. All the lying and deceit was enough. The drama. And then the replacement wedding, the bench wedding.
Yeah, the bangers.
Pulling the benchers. That was hilarious. That was so
They put in second string to get married, and hey, it paid off.
I mean, someone paid it.
They were there.
I know. I know. So much of the decision making after all the regret was so nonchalant.
Yeah.
We all want to walk you down the aisle. Why not?
So yeah, guys, if you're not knowing what you want to watch this weekend or whatever, watch the Mamma Mia. It's so fun. Endorphins. ABBA.
Yeah, I mean,
Fernando.
That's in the second one.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
Yeah, just to get it straight. Just to get it straight, that's the second one.
That's the second one.
Because there's two movies dedicated to ABBA music.
And you know what? Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again. Better plot, in my opinion. It's a great film.
And then if you want to make a real day out of it, you just watch, Sisters in Traveling Pants right after?
It's been years since I've seen Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but you're probably thinking of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants too. That's when they go to Greece.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't even think of the Grease connection. I was just thinking of Beach Time Girl movie,
So many good beach time girl movies.
There is. I think Princess Diaries counts. They're on a beach a lot in that movie. Beaches
in
of LA.
The first one, they are at the beach a lot.
Yeah.
It takes up about 10
And you have blonde Mandy Moore.
Yeah, you do.
She is just my least favorite of that movie.
She played the mean girl real fucking good.
A little real good, yeah.
I'm just I don't act.
I think we need to do a Princess Diaries Highsplation at some point in a future episode too. That's now on the list.
That's a good one.
Movies.
You know
Probably
what?
the second
I need to rewatch it.
It's a great film, honestly.
I love Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement with Chris Pine.
So I watched that. I just watched that recently for the first time.
It's so cute.
I had to contact a few people, and it's not everyone's popular opinion, but I said, how come nobody told me that this movie was better than the first one?
I agree. I enjoy it more than the first one.
The moment Julie Andrews starts singing in the second one, I said, "Oh, that's."
that is a little unfair, dude.
That's it.
Bitch,
You got
that's
Mary
Mother.
fucking Poppins.
That's a little unfair,
Mary
dude.
fucking Poppins slides.
That's Mother.
Yeah.
Mommy.
Spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Man, shit. I just that was unfair, and I was pleasantly surprised by that one. So I heard the third one actually got confirmed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'd like to see
I'm looking
it.
forward to that. All right, Lucius, you've had a little ripperoo, and are you ready? You ready, buddy?
That rip put me in the correct spot.
The
Do you need
correct
a
new
sip of
groove
water
spot.
just to make sure you're ready.
Yeah.
Hydrate.
just-
It's a mouthful.
Oh yeah, because you're gonna.
Oh, I'm really
Yeah,
proud.
no, that's
I'm really proud of the
factual.
spam here. He's
Hey, you
coming
know,
in full
and
force.
your first high splation, you got to give him the best chance. You got to give him the best chance that he can have. You know.
All right.
All right. As soon as you
I
go,
believe
as
in
soon as you start it with Emperor's New Groove, we're gonna go.
This is the high splation of The Emperor's New Groove. So this banger of a movie opens up with a musical number
He's giving a
describing our
description.
main character, the Emperor Cusco, who has his own theme song and is told in the very opening of the narration that everything was basically given to him forever. So the most entitled person you could possibly think of.
We all are so familiar with this movie. It's great.
Cusco sings about how great he is and how everything is going fantastic for him and how no one can throw off his groove. The end of the song, an old man walks in front of him and throws off his groove. So, a natural response that anyone would ever do, that Cusco throws him out of the window. Don't worry, he's fine. But you won't find that out.
You
till
wouldn't
later.
know that at the beginning.
Cusco approaches his seat on the throne. Actually, I skipped the whole scene. Oh no.
Keep going. You're good.
Yeah, I got it.
You got to get
You're
in it.
timed, my guy. You're timed.
Oh no. Cusco is being asked by his advisors to pick a bride. He doesn't like any of them because he's just that picky. And he moves on after that scene, establishing that not only is he entitled, but also that he's probably shallow.
Yeah.
Enter in our second main character, Pacha, who is a big, lovable family man who recently been summoned to Cusco's palace for what seems to have no reason. And he approaches this giant palace, meets our old man that got thrown out of the window, and is warned to not throw off the Emperor Cusco's groove. Pacha walks in and meets Cusco, where he has a model of his town sitting beautifully recreated as a little miniature. And Cusco introduces that the one thing that he wanted to know is where was the best spot on the hill. Pacha has no idea why he's being asked this and says, okay, this is the most beautiful spot on the hill.
Halfway.
And then Cusco then says, great, that's where I'm putting my beach house. And explains to Pacha that he is going to pull a capitalist move, claim land and put his summer home right where a indigenous populace live.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic Emperor move.
So Pacha, in distrust and distraught, says you can't do that, and the Emperor says, "Well, I can," and has been told to be sent home.
Sends us home like too bad, so sad.
We'll get back to Pacha in a minute, but we have to introduce the main villain of the movie, which is
You're already halfway through your time, but keep going.
No.
You got 1 minute and 30
Which
seconds.
is Yzma, who's described who's described as the scary beyond belief. She's trying to usurp the Emperor's throne by taking over his duties, where she's making decisions without him in the room, or even it was consulting, trying to replace him. Cusco finds out about this, immediately decides to fire her. Yzma, in a fit of rage, plots to end the Emperor's life in order to take the throne permanently, as she describes. She has a wonderful assistant named Kronk, who is the definition of a
1 minute.
bimbo and makes all
What do
the
they do to
one-liners
him?
in the entire film.
You have a minute left. Go.
They Yzma plans to kill Cusco either by crushing the flea. There's this whole monologue about that, and then she just decides to actually poison him at dinner. Yzma sets up the dinner.
Keep going. You're good.
Great, I love it.
What happens at dinner?
Kronk bits of the poison and ends up giving Cusco a poison.
30 seconds.
Oh god.
He's turned into a llama. Great. Never mind. Who's this Krunk guy? No, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Give him back like 5 seconds.
No way.
Yeah,
No, that's not the rules. Emperor turns into the llama. Kronk is tasked to get rid of him. Kronk goes over the water. Cusco runs down the river, ends up in the
3, 2.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That was awesome,
man.
Oh,
man,
I love that to
My
death.
sweet baby.
You're not
no.
even listen, Lucius.
You're not the worst.
You're not even the first one to
No.
be
You're on
subject
brand
to
with
a
Surfer
movie
Dan.
that you just enjoy, and you're just like, no, I need to tell them
Yeah.
about this joke. I need to tell them about this liner. I need to tell them about this whole scene in the opening. Like when I said,
trap myself in fried
Lucius
green
never
tomatoes,
puts quality on the line.
I
He always
barely
delivers.
got out of Act
sacrifice.
1, dude. I barely got out of Act 1 of Fried Green Tomatoes. And that's my most favorite
That's
movie.
so much
I
shorter
said-
than you think it is.
4 minutes and
Correct.
20 seconds to explain a movie is really not a lot of time. It's really crazy. Yeah, when I said halfway and you were like still in the intro song like of the film, I was like, this is gonna be interesting.
You were like, "We'll get back to the hot couch in 1 minute," and I was like, "He got a minute?" I was like, "Do we have that time?" All right, I'm about it though. I love it the
I
best.
knew it was over when you started describing the hill, and I'm like, stop.
I thought that was the most wonderful thing, and that is. Thank you so much for jumping
And your
into
cute
this and
little
writing in
pauses.
stride. That was great.
Yeah.
Your
that was-
dramatic
yeah.
pauses for effect.
Yeah,
That was actually truly one of the
Absolutely
best
ate into your
That was
time, but
fun,
made
dude.
it
That was
great.
great, and I was with you. I was like, this is such a great intro to.
And the thing is I want Spam to write in, and I feel like for Narnia is gonna be like, but can I hear Lucis just tell the rest of them?
Yeah,
Like,
Do
would
double
you
over
let
time.
him
They're
finish?
gonna be like, he didn't finish, but like, can he though? Like, can we just give him the time? Which we might need to bring you on to do, Lucis. We might need to bring
with
you
story
on
time with
to
Lucius.
just
Aw.
a really
Ask me
quick,
to do
like
Just have him tell us
10-minute
about history, a
episode.
random
do it.
little snippet that
You'll
happened.
also hold the world record for shortest 42 strains episode, and it will just be you telling the story of Emperor's New Groove.
It's like a Christmas special. Gather around the campfire.
Gather around for Lucius's Emperor's New Groove telling.
Yes.
Oh man, thank you for that. And
He'll read
I
a
don't
Christmas
think,
Carol this Christmas.
That would be like the show Drunk History,
yeah, right.
but it's with Lucius just telling movie
I
stories.
know.
I think it's a couple of rips, and
because he
starts
won't
telling-
sacrifice the quality. Damn it, you need to know these things.
I think we just stumbled on a gold mine.
Yeah, it was like Surfer Dan's Psycho couldn't do it. Chuck's Fried Green Tomatoes couldn't do it. And now Lucius got caught behind Emperor's New Groove, and they're not even surprising films. You're like, I get it. You're like, I get it. You need to give. You need to give them the juice, you know? You need to give those movies their respect. It's hard. And like you said, yeah, when you first start the high splosions, you're like, wow, 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That's a good amount of time. I've spoke for that long. That seems like I can get through some stuff. And you're like, wow, no, I can't.
No.
Yeah. Dude, I did the first Lord of the Rings with my first high splation. And let me
Just
tell you,
Fellowship.
I had to basically shatter and destroy my own heart and love for that film in order to finish. In 4 minutes and 20 seconds, there was so much left out, and I wanted to be like, I'm so sorry I left you out. You know, like, it was like the disrespect you felt, but leaving it out.
So much happened.
Oh, man, that was absolutely fantastic. I can't
We
imagine.
skipped over the diner.
You couldn't get to the
water.
diner.
You mentioned-
We
you
didn't
said
get
the
out
word
of the...
waterfall.
Pacha and Cusco didn't even meet when Cusco was a llama.
He was barely a
Didn't even
llama.
get
He was barely a llama. We were
this
15
dude, he
minutes
said out
in.
of nowhere, he said, and then Kronk, and I was like, oh, who's that guy?
You didn't
like,
even touch on
Liz
the
is losing a
cutest,
little bit.
evil little white kitty.
I do love every way you prefaced a character, though. Like, every character you brought in, you're like, yeah, he's made to be absolutely shallow and mean, and you're like, yes, he is, though. And yeah, thank you. That is what I needed to know.
I
damn
now
it.
know more
And
of
now
this
let me tell you, and you were like, now let me tell you about the evil character made to look like the most evil, and I'm like, describe it, but this is so much time. It really is like, it made me wanting more, you know?
We have a mascot.
Yeah, our mascot out here. We have our mascot Gandalf the Grey. That's our cat mascot. He wants to go outside, but he can't because it's too dark, and he'll just get in lots of trouble, like a little punk cat does. That's okay though, because we're actually at the end of our episode, and I could not imagine a better. That was just a wonder. Thank you, Lucius, for being on and doing a high splation on your first
You're
episode. On that
adorable.
was just an absolute treasure. Thank you for being an awesome fiance to our lovely, wonderful
My
host,
betrothed.
Snack Queen.
We
Please-
enjoy Snack
queen.
Queen, and she seems to make grand decisions.
Yeah,
So
100%.
Sometimes
100%.
I make some good decisions.
Sometimes
I
we
make
all
some
make.
real dumb ones.
I was really trying to help you.
And you know, and until you come and smoke with us next time, until next time, stay high and stay golden, and we'll smoke with you soon. You can catch Double A on Twitter and Instagram at AA1242.
You can follow this old dinosaur on Twitter at Surfer Dan. Just kidding. I was too slow to get that handle, but that guy's still pooping. I'm at 42 Strains. That's the number 42 Strains. And over on Instagram, you can find me at Surfer Dan of 42 Strains.
If you'd like to see what's going on with your girl Snacks, you can go to Twitter and follow Snack Queen 21. I repeat, Snack Queen 21.
Or come follow Chucky D over on Instagram at Chuck_Dante or Twitter at iHeartChuckabees.
And if you'd like, you can follow Rue on Twitter at Blazing Roots.